Dr. Dre is in full effect, and I gotta tell y'all a little something. Eazy-E is down with us. MC Ring, you know he's down with us. DJ Yella is down with us. Arabian Prince, you know he's down with us. Tony A the Wizard is down with us. JJ Fag is down with us. Timmy T, you know he's down with us. DJ Pooh, boy, he's down with us. Toddy B and Spade, they're down with us. My boy Ice Cube, you know he's down with us. I like to mention, so pay attention to where I'm from. Compton, but the tapes are from the Rhodium. My name is Dre, listen while I play. And by the way, I'm also down with NWA. Yo, Steve at the Rhodium is down with us. Slanging funky tapes, it is a must. We're number one.
Yo, welcome back everyone to Rhodium Radio episode 4. This actually completes 1 month. Before we get started and I introduce my special guest, once again, I just want to remind everybody why we have Rhodium Radio. I was inspired by my good friend, my mentor, and a father figure named Steve YANO and his wife Susan. You cannot mention Steve without mentioning his wife Susan. I like to say that they were like the dynamic duo. Steve YANO has passed away now for 5 years, and I want to continue his legacy that he started at the Rhodium Swap Meet. And the reason why we call this Rhodium Radios, it was inspired by the Rhodium Swap Meet stand that he had, where he gave independent artists a voice, whether through the mixtapes, selling their vinyl, etc. But once again, so I am here to give independent artists a voice, a platform to actually be heard, to share their story, and so that you can get to actually know them a little bit better. But without further ado, I would like to introduce my good friend, somebody that I've known for years, since the early 90s, somebody that I believe has produced 2 classic albums, at least that I know, at least that are my favorite. And we've been friends for a long time. Not only is he a producer, he's a DJ, but also an engineer. Without further ado, my good friend Ernie G, all the way from Santa Monica. Thank you for coming, brother.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. You know, before we get into all the good stuff about Frank V, the first Proper Dose album, the second Proper Dose album, I want to introduce to the public a little bit behind the scenes of Ernie G. Where were you raised at?
Santa Monica.
Okay,
right
Santa Monica. Okay,
yeah.
Now, were you always raised there? Did you move?
Always raised there. Always raised there. Yeah.
What elementary school did you attend?
Edison.
What junior high school?
John Adams.
What high school?
Samo High.
Samo High?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you
Santa Monica High, basically. Samo
Okay.
High.
Did you play any sports?
I tried baseball. I was on the Giants, but you know, most people were on the Little League, which was on 14th Street on Olympic.
Uh-huh.
We were on the low budget side on Stewart, you know, and I kind of sucked after a while. I'm like, this ain't for me, so I didn't pursue it.
So you kind of sucked.
Yeah, super sucked.
So now growing up, and if I'm correct, in a Mexican home.
Yes.
Are your parents from Mexico?
Straight out of Mexico. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What part of Mexico were your mom and dad from?
My dad's from El Valle.
El
You
Valle?
know, they call it Turkey City because they always have a nickname. And my mom's from Buenos Aires.
Okay.
Buenos Aires, yeah. El Pueblo. They call it El Pueblo.
Do you, as a kid, well, were you born there as well?
No, I was born and raised here. From what I
Okay.
know, it's UCLA.
Okay.
I was born in UCLA.
Any other family members that were born in Mexico, as far as sisters, brothers?
No, they were all born here.
So they got married and came over here to Santa Monica.
My parents, yeah. From what they told me, yeah. I think.
From what
I
they
don't
told
know,
you.
Wait a minute. Yeah, they got married over there. Then I think my mom came first, then my dad came. You know, after.
Okay, that's the way it is. Huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tap into that now.
Now, how many brothers, how many sisters do you have?
Well, I had one brother. He passed away
Okay.
in '96. That's Chato.
Sorry to hear that. Rest in peace.
So he passed away in '96, and my sister. I got one sister.
So there was 3 of you. Now there's
3 of it. Now there's 2. Yes.
Okay, now paint a picture for me. Growing up, what kind of music was played around your house? Did your mom play something different than what your dad did? Did your dad play something different than what your mom did? Or did they pretty much play the same thing?
My father never played music. My mom was always, you know, I know it sounds cliche,
right?
But it was them Saturday mornings when you get your ass up and to clean the house, you know. And my mom would play. Man, my mom still has albums. Actually, I have her albums. She would play a lot of Spanish, like from Los Bukis. Okay. Even to Cepillín.
Cepillín, of course,
Cepillín. To the one she would always bump, Funky Town. My mom actually bought funk and would play that shit. Would you take me to Funky Town? She would know the words, but she'd make her own ad libs to it. Yeah, of course. So you know, she played everything. You know,
so as a kid, that's pretty much what you heard.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
As a kid, the person who introduced me to music was my father.
Okay.
And he had one of them big old long stereos, you know.
TV with the TV in the middle?
No, actually, it wasn't. It was just some speakers and a turntable on the side, and it was pretty much 45s.
Okay.
Okay. But he played pretty much everything. I remember the first song that I ever heard him play, and I was just a kid. It was Monster Mash. Remember that song?
Yes.
Okay, Monster Mash. And he was like bien romántico, you know. He always played like Los Panchos.
Okay.
And my mom's favorite was Juan Gabriel.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those were my mom's favorites. But I kind of wanted to get a picture of what you grew up with, to what formed and what made Ernie. Now, what kind of music maybe possibly did your brother or sister play?
Well, at the time, I didn't pay too much attention. My sister was way younger. I think I don't even know, to this day. I don't know how younger she is. Maybe 10 years younger than me.
Okay.
And my brother, you know, the oldies, typical, you know, Bone Thugs and Harmony. He really liked that one first of the month. You know, like so. That's what he was bumping. But you know, I can't really recall them like, oh, they always wake up with the stereo. It wasn't that. It was me that was always like, I got introduced to it when I first heard Rocket and Buffalo Gals mixed together. That's where I can remember like, wow, you know, like that. It blew my mind, bro. Like you know.
Now I know. Hold that thought, because we're gonna come back to that.
Yeah.
I know you DJ'd first before you started producing, before you started engineering.
Yeah.
Around what age would you say that we talked about Rock and Buffalo Gals? Mm-hmm. About what age were you say enthused or excited when you heard that kind of music? Like, what were you in junior high, possibly?
Well, I don't know if I heard it before. I think I heard it with Mello, and you gotta understand, like, you know, I'm from '71, so even by late '78,
yeah,
I was already listening to Tom Petty, because my dad used to take us to a bar on 20th. And Wilshire, like it was the House of Billiard, and so he'd give us a bunch of quarters just to be like, here, go play Pac-Man or Galaga, and it might have been like, I want to say 82 or something, but they were playing 78 music, 79, so the jukebox was always playing there, so I was picking up on that. And then, you know, I remember we would drive in his truck, his Ford truck, and I still remember Shalimar, you know, playing. So it was late 70s, maybe early 80s. I'm not good with time, but I remember that feeling like, wow, what is this, you know? And then gradually, here comes this thing called hip. I must have been in third grade when like Sugar Hill popped up, because I want to say I remember. I don't think I'm making this up, but I would take records to Edison, like on a Friday or a Wednesday, and it would let us play those records. And I remember buying like 83 or when Zap came out, because I remember my mom saying, why are you buying those records for?
Right.
Yeah. Why are you spending your money on Zap? And that was around 83, you know, from the Rhodium. I would buy them. This is before I even knew I was going to get into DJing and stuff. So I want to say the first record I bought was, if you guys remember Thrifties, now is, what do they call it now?
CBS.
CBS. No, actually Rite Aid, right?
Rite Aid, okay.
Remember K-Tel? The brand?
Yes.
I think I bought a Taste of Honey from, they used to have it like a little rack that spins around.
Right.
I remember buying that from there. Like, I remember Taste of Honey.
Albums, 45s.
The album.
Okay.
So
you were a youngster already buying records.
Yeah, without knowing yet, you know, without knowing that I'm going to get into DJing. I don't think I knew.
Who was it through the radio, through a cassette, through vinyl? Or was it somebody you saw? Who was the first DJ you ever saw that inspired you to say, I want to find out more about that, or I want to do that?
I want to say, if you remember, Grandmaster DST.
Yes.
This is going to blow some people. Like, remember that he I think, didn't he? I want to say he did the scratch. I didn't know this. I know it now because we can go back and search it. But I think he might have done some of the scratches for Herbie Hancock. Like,
yes.
We didn't know at the time, you know, but to me that was like mind blowing. To me was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, so you know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
Grandmaster DST, where he's in front, and the album covers. That's why I tell people, it's like, I miss album covers, bro.
Yeah.
Because it was an experience.
That,
people don't have that anymore.
And the cassettes that you would open and actually read
the credits.
You gotta read the credits.
Or just even trip out on the art cover, like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, the Ghetto Blaster with the standing, like that. To me, I mean, we remember that.
Now, who was the first person you ever seen in person cutting and scratching, if you could remember?
I want to say, and I might be the first time. Look, believe it, Uncle Jam's Army.
Okay.
I don't know what year that was, but I remember the Civic Center in Santa Monica had them there. The Civic Center in Santa Monica had Uncle Jam's Army. Bro, the best shit ever to me. I don't know how, my mom, you know, either my parents were kind of naive, like, hey, I'm going to a concert, and dude, I want to say I was probably 16 at the most. 16, and dude, you know, walking into an arena, of course, it's dark, smoke, Sherman in the air, yeah, and people getting thrown through windows, dude. Like I saw, like it was like the show lines in the 60 rolling Crips. I remember it was the show lines were right there in Venice. So like damn, to me, I mean, as bad as some people might see it, it was the best shit ever.
Now, around how old were you around this time?
I want to say, and I'm bad at dates, dude. I'm bad at dates. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. But
if you had a guess,
16.
See, you had it good because we both come from Mexican families, but I'm sure at some point your family was very strict. With mine, at the age of 19, I was still very strict. You know.
You know what's funny? My parents weren't strict. They were like, they never ever said nothing about bumping music. I was throwing parties at my house in '86, dude.
Wow.
I was throwing literally in '86. I remember. I mean, people would come to the back room. You've been to my pad,
right? When
it was, you know, a little, and they were so shermed out, and they would be upset, and people trying to calm them down, like. People that know that, hey, this is true. And they'd be like, oh, when she left me. And they would punch holes through the drywall. Like, man, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
Because they're so high and stuff. But, dude, people would come out. Hey, you know, get in here. The police are coming. People fighting outside. And it was like, and my parents would never say nothing. They would just stay inside the pad. And then when they come out, and we just had to regulate ourselves.
Wow.
But you know.
Now, at what point in your life, and possibly at what age did you start picking up the turntables or say to yourself, I'm going to start practicing or getting the hang of this?
You know, it started, I want to say I remember my dad giving me a turntable. Like I said, I don't remember. Could have been 14, 15.
Okay.
And it wasn't a 1200. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't
Hell
that.
No.
It was a Nikon.
Okay.
Like not the camera, but Nico or something.
Right.
And then I remember borrowing one from my friend that he got one too, and then kind of putting them together. They were mismatched.
Of course.
And I remember, because I remember saving some money from a paper route, the Evening Outlook in Santa Monica. I had a paper route.
For those people that may not know what a paper route is, explain to them.
A paper route was after school, they would leave a bundle of papers, and you cut them, and then you'd have to put them together and fold them, put a rubber band on, and you had a bag, and you put those on your bike, and you fill it, and you had a route. You got to go deliver around the hood and throw the Evening Outlook. For me, it was the Evening Outlook.
Right.
And so, you know, you would get I think you get paid every fucking month.
Yeah.
I think it was every month. And I think from there, I asked my brother, hey, let me borrow your money. Go to Radio Shack and buy a mixer, because I didn't really know what it was, but I would hear, hey, it's a mixer that you need to put these, and I always been into electronics. I always like electronics. I was always like, you know, even back then, we were just talking about the old stereos, the Marantz and the old, because I was looking at the mics, and I'm like, oh, Marantz, I remember that, you know. And to me, that's nostalgic. To me, it's like, man, that brings a lot I would remember I'd go with my dad gardening, and I'd go into these white folks' garage because they were open. I wasn't breaking or nothing, and I would be like, "Damn, look, that stereo's badass." And I would even get the magazines just to look at the stereo,
right?
The early 1980 stereos.
Now that's a trip that you said you had a paper out, because when I first bought my first 1200s, now I had already known how to DJ, but to make a long story short, I had a paper route job. And I knew what I was getting paid, and I knew how long I wanted to work, because there was a guy actually down the street here. It was a white guy, a few white guys here in Wilmington, because it is predominantly all, at that time, was predominantly all Mexican and black. Okay? And I remember he said, I'm selling my old 1200s. And when I heard 1200s, se me prendió el foco. The light turned on.
I know that feeling.
So I said, how much do you want from him? And he told me, he said, I'll take $300. So I knew how long I had to work, and I knew I was going to quit that damn paper route job just so that I can get the 1200s. Now, they were raggedy, but you know what? When you love music, it doesn't matter.
I still have my original 1200, so as ragged as them motherfuckers are built to last.
Now when we say 1200, for the public, for the youngsters that may not know, we're talking about turntables.
Turntables, the original 1200 MK2s. Yes. And they were about, and the trip out on this, like, I didn't get enough money to buy them. And I never got to until one day there was this guy named Chuy Garcia, and he had a DJ business.
And every Mexican family just like a Chuy, huh?
Yeah, Chuy. It was Chuy Garcia, and he would I wouldn't say use me, but I was just blown away, because that's when and I still got a GLI mixer.
Oh wow!
So if people know what I go, I mean, GLI was Jam Master Jay. Remember you? I would just look at it. Anyways, that's how I got into it. And then my mom, I probably had like $300, but then remember the credit cards we used to put them on the machine and slide them like this with carbon copy.
Right.
We went. I remember going up Fairfax down to, I want to say maybe Sunset. They had stereo places back in the day, Leo Stereos and stuff like that.
Right.
So we got them from one of those places, and she charged the rest up, and I paid them off, and that was it.
You know what I miss, because I used to love to go, was Radio Shack.
I love Radio Shack.
And think about this, okay, I'm 51 years old, okay?
Yeah. Radio Shack.
And here's what breaks my heart, okay? Yeah. We have no more Toys R Us.
No.
We have no more Radio Shack.
No.
Tower Records, Music Plus.
Nothing.
The Warehouse.
Nothing.
So that's starting to make me feel older,
Yeah.
But the good thing is that, and I love this quote, thank God that we had a childhood before technology took over.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying technology is bad, because it's actually good, because we're actually live right now.
We're still,
So thank God for that. But now, I want to jump a little bit ahead. So now you got your turntables. At what age do you remember going to the Rhodium Swap Meet? And once again, for our viewers, the Rhodium Swap Meet is an open air market or a flea market in the city of Gardena.
Well, if I can say, when I could say I bought Zap album at the Rhodium.
About how old were you?
Well, my parents used to go to the swap meet to buy whatever they needed to buy.
Clothes, Mexican candy, whatever.
And I can even say we probably went to the Rhodium without me even knowing about the music yet. I'm sure we went there when we were young. But as I can remember, it must have been like 80, let's say 82 to be safe.
Okay.
But it might have been even 80, so for sure 82 or 83 I started going there,
at what time, or how old were you, what year possibly was it when you actually met Steve YANO?
What's fun? It had to be like a little maybe before 90, because that's when we had promoted our album on Big Chill Records. Shout out to my cousin,
Okay, stop right there, because I don't want you to jump into a hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so say probably about 90.
Yeah.
Okay.
90.
Let me back up now. At what year, or possibly how old were you when you first met Frank V?
I think I was, and I wish I had a couple of friends here that know the dates, but I'm not good at dates. But
if you had to guess,
it had to be during high school, and it had to be maybe 11th grade, 12th grade. Maybe it might have been 12th grade, because a friend of mine, Victor Campos, introduced me to him. Well, he's like, I know this guy. The same scenario, cliche. This guy, he's pretty good. Bring him by. Yeah, okay. And he wouldn't show up. He wouldn't show up until finally one day he showed up.
So now you were DJing at the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
By that time, yeah.
So you weren't producing just yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you meet this guy, Frank V. Now so you met him around the 12th grade, possibly 11th, 12th.
Yeah.
Okay. So now he was rapping. When you first heard him rap, what were your thoughts?
You know, you don't get a lot from me. I'm just like, this guy's good.
Okay.
You feel a vibe. You feel like it's almost like it's meant to be. So I don't remember like saying, wow, this guy's great. I was just like, we got something. So, I'm just quiet. I'm like, I know we got something.
See, and that's good because with High C, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
When I told him last week, I said, when I first heard you rap, I didn't like it.
Okay.
But it wasn't until I performed with him and I saw that he sounded just like the way he would rap to me at home.
Exactly.
He didn't change. And the way he engaged the crowd at the age of 17 years old, that's this guy's young and he's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so it must have been around the same, you must have been at Frank possibly around 16, 17 years old. Now you meet Frank. Now, from what you know of, that Frank V, is he originally from Santa Monica?
I believe his family, I'm not 100% sure because, the funny thing is like just because you're in a group with somebody, like you in a high seat, people will probably assume that you and him hang out all day, and it's probably far from the truth.
Right.
And that was the same situation with me and Frank V. I always said, he don't step on my toes, and I don't step on his toes, And Frank V, I don't know when he got here, but
now when you say got here,
yeah, like to Santa Monica, that's what I'm meaning.
Okay,
Santa Monica.
Where did he come from?
I want to say look. I should know this, but I'm saying this just like a disclaimer, not so people always like, no, he didn't. He came, I think, from Texas. His family was from Texas. Like his mom probably spoke Spanish and Tex-Mex and stuff like that.
Right.
And I think he was the youngest out of his older brothers. And the reason I say that is to say that the reason I think Frank V was different was because he didn't get raised like maybe like how we did right here, right? So the flavor that he had was he was into a lot of classic rock.
Okay.
But I think when he got here, he was kind of like, wow, I like this,
Okay.
The gang lifestyle and stuff like that.
So, as far as you know, okay, and like you said, you're not 100% sure. You believe that he was originally from Texas.
Yes.
And when do you know possibly?
You know what? I'll take that back. I think he might have been staying in Long Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, he might have been staying in Long Beach.
Okay.
I wish he was around. We can ask him.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked you is because somebody told me that he was originally from Texas. They've never told me what part of Texas.
Okay.
And they said he got here around when he was a teenager. Nothing was for sure around what time, what year, how old he was. But I asked because what you're telling me kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
To what somebody told me that a female actually told me this. So now he raps for you. You're DJing. Around what point did you started getting or introduced to producing?
Well, this all circles around the mixtapes, your mixtapes, because I was blown away by that. I didn't understand how the hell you guys are mixing a song after another. I mean, I get. No, that would be impossible for you to.
You're talking about the Rhodium?
Yeah, the Rhodium mixtape. Like, how the hell you went 8, boom, bang, doo, boom, this song, that song, boom, 8. I mean, is somebody handing you these records? Are you nah? So I remember Steve would always be like this. I said, how do they do that? Oh, that's a 4-track, and I'm like, what the hell is a 4-track?
I know.
What's a 4-track? I think you guys had an 8-track, but I ran down. Now here's another one. We didn't have no Guitar Center.
Right.
We didn't have no Sam Ash.
Right.
We didn't have none of that. But I did. That's why I feel like I was blessed. In West LA, we had West LA Music.
West LA Music.
Remember West LA Music?
My favorite store.
Yes. It was almost like the Mecca. You had to go there. Yeah. Like everybody's picture was on the wall. Yeah. Like you would go in there and you'd see all these. So I asked them, hey, what's a 4-track? And they're like, oh, here's one. And, and I was like, shit, I just got to get it. I didn't know what it was.
Today I talk to people and they all swear, oh, I knew you were using a 4-track. That's a damn lie.
Yeah.
Nobody knew I was using a 4-track because
that was all new.
Before I started making them for Steve, I would hear Dre, cutting and scratching and everything, and then he would be talking over. I'm thinking, there's no way he could be doing this and then talking at the same time.
Exactly.
So when I first did my first mixtape, that was in 1987, Steve came over and I clearly told him, I don't have 4 turntables. So he said, don't worry about it, we need a 4-track. So when he pulled out that Tascam Porta 1,
okay,
I said, what is that? And he said, this is how we're going to do it. Now, that was different for me.
Yeah.
So it took a while for me to master that, if you will.
Yeah.
But for people to say today, I knew, that's a damn lie, because Steve would always tell me, don't tell anyone, And of course, that was Dr. Dre's way of being ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Because Dre's actually the one that introduced him to that, because Dre was doing bootleg records for Lonzo, Crew Cut Records, and Mixtapes.
Yeah.
So,
and back in the days, that was, dude, for you to have a 4-track was like, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, now we even take it for granted. Now we have all the technology we wish we had, and we still don't do shit with it. Oh, well, at least for me. I'm
right. Okay. So you get a 4-track. You learn how to use it.
No, I don't. I don't know how. Because remember how I used to say pan, left, right? And I was like, what the hell is pan?
What is pan?
What is pan? What is pan? Okay, you want to know what's pan? Pan just means balance, left or right.
Left or right.
That's it. But why did they have to call it pan? I don't understand. So anyways, I would sit there and be like, what the hell? And the problem with me is I get something, I acquire it, and I'm like, okay, I got it.
Right.
Yeah, I lose kind of what's next. I need this.
And you're still that way today.
I'm still that way today. Okay. And I realize it. I'm like, I need this drum machine. I need that. And I buy them, and I'm like, I just get them, and okay, I got it. So
you get a 4-track. You eventually learn how to use it. Obviously.
Somewhat. Yeah.
Frank V comes over.
What
do you remember the first rap that he actually ever put together, or what beat?
I don't remember like the first rap. I'm sure there must have been some, but of course it was like a diss song, the neighborhoods and stuff like that.
Right.
And I was so much into like learning the 4-track and trying to be like Tony A and Dr. Dre that as long as I knew that, whatever, I kind of left him alone. Like, you do you, because I don't even have to worry about you. It wasn't like, bro, you're offbeat or you're sounding kind of whack or like, no. That's how good Frank was. I didn't have to worry. He was like, I already got him locked in. Cool. Oh, yeah, cool. Let me do my little thing. I was so focused on like, how do I make this work? How do I bounce? Because you had to bounce. After 4 tracks, you had to bounce. And you were talking about mono, right? Like mono. That was another thing I couldn't understand. And, so anyways, so it was kind of like a diss song and stuff like, and I was trying to do like, this is dedicated.
Around that time, did you guys ever perform or do any shows? Like, let's try taking this to the stage.
I want to say the first show I remember somehow was at like a car show at Samo High. It was kind of like on a Saturday or Sunday.
And this was like your first time you guys together.
Yeah. Like we didn't. I think it was like a cassette was your DAT machine. It wasn't records. I don't think it was records. Okay. And it was just kind of like we didn't know what we were doing. I want to say Lighter Shade of Brown might have been performing that time. Okay. So I'm not sure.
Hold those thoughts, okay? We're going to go to a break, and then we're going to get into your albums.
Okay.
And working with Steve. Once again, I have my good friend Ernie G from the group Proper Dose. We're going to get into what we call Chicano rap today. We're going to get into where is Frank V. But first and foremost, I want to say this, that before I actually ever met Ernie, I heard a song called Mexican Power. They didn't say Chicano Power. They didn't say power. They said Mexican Power. These brothers were actually bold enough to come forward and they didn't care if they got rejected, but they came out and said, this is Mexican Power. And that's the song we're going to be playing. First, we're going to play something that he probably hasn't heard in years, because these brothers actually used to work at Power 106. They were DJs there, and we're going to talk about that. So these drops that you're going to be hearing are, one of them is for Power 106.
Yeah.
One of them, one of the songs that we're going to play is one, The Misadventures of Frank V.
Okay.
Produced by you.
Yeah.
And after that, you're going to hear the original version of Mexican Power, which was on Rainbow Records.
That was on Big Chill Records.
Big Chill
the
Records.
Original, yes.
Big Chill Records.
It was pressed by Rainbow Records.
So we'll be back in 10 minutes, and call somebody, tag somebody, or text somebody and let them know what we're about to get into. So John, take us away. Thank you, guys.
Hey man, what you doing? Put it back on Power 106. Let me tune in to my battles. Check that ass with Big Boy, Henry and Charlie Weddle. Bumpin' old school with Morales,
Carnalas y carnales.
Tune in to 106 cause that Mickey Ficky mix. Kicks in the G-Ride Lex as we get our late night creep on with the Roughnecks. DJ Ray and Sean Warner in the casa. Baker Boy showing love for the raza. Poor Man and Angel got my back. Fat 5 at 9, 8 o'clock's a rap attack. Power 106,
Rifamos.
growing up for 10 years, fool.
10 años.
So 106 it, or ditch it cause I'm picky. I won't bump that mix if it ain't a Mickey Vicky, cause it won't come close. Frank V,
Ernie G,
the proper those. Power 106. Damn, that DJ made my day. The Mickey Ficky mix. Damn, that DJ made my day. The old school hits. Damn, that DJ made my day. Power 106. Now, here's a little story I got to tell about some gangster ass shit that you know so well. It started way back in history with that crazy vato loco that they call Frank G. Had this one perro named Ernie G. Me and my perro and a 40 OZ. Riding across the land, kicking up sand. Player haters on my dick cause I'm in demand. One crazy ass Mexican I be. All creased down in my black khakis. The sun is beating down on my LA hat. Air is getting hot, Beastal's getting flat. Looking for a bitch, I ran into a fool. To make matters worse, I was on my last school. He told a little story, sounded well rehearsed. 4 days on the run and that he's dying of thirst. The cool was in my hand and he was on my tip. That vato started shaking and he asked me for a hit. He said, could I get some? I said, you can't get none. I ain't about to run, not even from a gun. Quick on the draw, I thought I'd be dead. He put his square to my head and this is what he said.
My name is ACE, I'm straight fiending for a hit. I think you know what time it is, it's time to get lit. Now what's up with that juice? Don't make me break the truce. Talking 12 gauge food, fuck the deuce.
We stepped into the wind, he had a gun, I had a grin. You think this shit is over, but it's ready to begin.
Now, I got the gun and you got the tools. You have two choices of what you can do. It's not a tough decision as you can see. I can blast you or you can dip one for me.
I said I'll dip one for you if you can get me to the border. Pete Wilson's after me for what I did to his daughter. I did her like this, I did her like that. I did it with my Louisville bat. So I'm on the run, 6 bullets in my gun. And right about now it's time to have some fun. The King Frank V, that is my term. And I know the dope spot where they got the bomb sherm. We rode for 6 hours and we hit the spot. Business was bumping, Buddhas were hot. These vatos mad dogging like they wanna get served. We took an empty spot next to them on the curb. Then A said,
hey, you know this fool?
I said, yeah, that's Ernie G with the bomb ass cools. Then he said,
get ready, cause this ain't funny. Yo soy Ernie G and I'm about to take your money.
Pulled out his cuete, aimed it at the sky. He yelled, 2 shots, and let 2 fly. Heads went up and people hit the floor. Vatos dropped their cash and their 50 pours. I'm Frank V and I get respect. Your cash and your dope is what I expect. Ernie G was with it and so was Ace. So I grabbed the main vato, socked him in the face. Vato hit the deck, the music stopped. This hyena started talking crazy and she got dropped.
Ernie G's got the money
and Ace got the juice.
I got 6 bitches, now it's time to get loose. nothing up for no one, not a single soul. Remember me, the local cholo going solo when I'm back with the new rap. Shoulders and thought that all we could do is dance around a motherfucking hat. But you were dead wrong, those days are long gone. My people are coming up and we're coming up strong. And if you don't believe me, fool, that's on you. But don't come crying saying I didn't warn you. I'm just getting your face, the power of my race. Press through the microphone as Ernie G drops bass. Critics in the place might disgrace and say my song is rough. But I say we've been kept down long enough. So if I seem bitter, consider the situation, son. Maybe the blind can visualize where I'm coming from. Cause I'm not getting dumb, I'm kicking educated lessons of the underrated power my people are possessing. Now blessed Chicano stood proud since ancestry. Although it wasn't brought up in your class of history. So listen to me, cause now it's my hour. And the lesson I'm kicking is called Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that.
Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that.
So due to your blue-eyed teacher, I gotta tell you and shed some light on my race where he fell to. So I'm gonna kick it to you and you must learn. But it's a Mexican thing and it's Frank V's turn to pick up the mic and try to unite my people. Hermanos y hermanas, damn straight we're equal. What? You don't think so? Well, think what you want to think. But sleep with your eyes open, watch your back and don't blink. Cause I'll sneak, attack you and jack you. Everything you said about us, I'm saying back to you. And more of it, but if push comes to shove it, wouldn't be a pretty sight. But I'm not starting a fight, you know I'd rather unite with the ones around us who respect our ground. Well, fuck all the other motherfuckers who try to down us or think they can clown us, but I'll just frown and send them home crying, singing tears of a clown. Cause I ain't staying down for another day. Cause me and my people ain't going out that way. I'm gonna stand up tall and proud and never cower. But I'm not Superman, it's called Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that.
Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that. Mexican. Mexican.
So if you're a crumb bum or a rich man, beware of the power. Don't you ever try to raise a hand or a fist to this Hispanic. It's just like a bandit, I'll leave you empty-handed. And all you get in return for that antic is proof that Mexican power is gigantic. So hear this Hispanic, fear of brown planet. And if you can't stand it, don't ever take my right for granted. Cause I'll reprogram it in pure Spanish. The rest of the public, they won't understand this. Then they'll try to ban this and single this. So I just stick to bilingual, cause I am the bilingualist. Bringing this to me canales y canales. Watching my back is DJ Ernie Gonzalez. So if you wanna be on this, I say ponle, say viva la raza. I shake your hand and say orale. Cause if you're down for your race, then you're down with me. And that right there, hoes, is how it should be. I know it could be better, but it could be worse. Pride is the first step, first things first. Cause once we possess awareness of where we stand, then we'll talk about unity among other Mexicans. But that's down the line, I know it's gonna take time. And if it ain't now, well, next rhyme. And there'll be another rhyme with no doubt. Cause I'm here to uplift, not to show out or go out, but blow out the brains of the lame and change the mind. Those insinuating being proud is a crime. And if that's true, I guess I'm a criminal. Cause I'm proud of the maximum, never the minimum. So remember, whenever I pick up a pen, don't underestimate the power of a Mexican. Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that.
Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that.
It's called Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that.
That's right, Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that.
Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that.
It's called Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that.
Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that.
Mexican power.
I'm very proud of that. 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 I'm very proud of that.
Y'all heard, take it from the top. Get that shit, new jump. Put a power move on 'em. If you mess with me,
Thanks everybody, welcome back once again to Rhodium Radio. I'm your host Tony A, and we're here with my boy Ernie G from the group, Mexican rap group called Mexican Power. Actually, proper those, that was a song you heard called Mexican Power. Now, Ernie, jump back into it. I don't want to waste any more time. You and Frank are now, if you will, together as a duo. Okay.
Yes.
Kind of like a Fresh Prince, Jazzy Jeff. Okay.
Yep.
Now, you hook up with Chill.
That's my cousin. Big Chill, rest in peace. Big
Chill, rest in peace. And where's he originally from?
He's from Linwood. He was, you know, when we used to go visit them, the family, they were in Linwood.
Now, how did he play a role?
He played a big major role. Like, people don't know it. I mean, at the time, look, I went through the DJing. I'm starting to get into the 4-track mixing. Now I got this guy named Frank V. And now, you know, I'm starting to understand, like, making records. I don't know shit about making records, but I know now my next thing I want is a SB1200.
Okay, which is a
drum machine, which you're familiar with it because, you know, you did High C in his album. But so there was one problem. There were $2,700. Yeah. You know, and at the time, when you want something, you know, hey, at the time, Big Chill, I mean, he's the man. He's the man at the time. He's the man. He was doing what he was doing. He's the man. Well, it wasn't that easy because I would tell him, hey, I want this drum. And when I say this, it's because we're here. We only have certain time. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen in a week, 2 weeks, to a month. It was just more like, hey, Chill, buy me this drum machine. I'm kind of paraphrasing because I don't 100% remember, but I know it was like, hey, and I remember him like probably saying, yeah, I'll get it for you. And I'm like, hell yeah, he's gonna get it for me. He's gonna get it for. Then maybe a week goes by, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You know, you also.
Well, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. But he had a lot of money, like a lot of money. Like this guy at that age, he's the same age as me at the same age, and he already had a house, 2 houses maybe. You know, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it. And then I'm like, you know, time goes on, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get it. Okay, so plan B.
What is plan B?
Plan B, I was like, okay, maybe it's still a lot of money. So I'm like, but by that time, why I'm saying this is because by that time I'm still like, you know, 4-track, and I don't know if Mexican Power's around. Then we bumped, you know, everything was aligned. Everything was aligned. So I was like, Steve, you know, we had like a little manager, this white guy, John Brunda. As much as people want to hate, or if he robbed us, or he robbed you, or he's taking all the money, dude, you gotta look at it this way. If it wasn't for him, whether he robbed us or not, or whatever, we probably wouldn't be here because he worked at Rainbow Records. He knew how to press.
He has connections.
He has connections.
Okay.
So we're like Jerry Heller, right?
Right.
You can hate all you want, but maybe Jerry Heller, if he wasn't that piece of the puzzle,
right,
bro, you got to take it for what it is. So anyways, long story short, by this time I'm still doing my thing. It's not stopping me. I'm not sitting here waiting for the drum machine, and it wasn't like I was like, oh, how can I get it? It was more like plan B was like, hey, could you rent out a studio time for us? Mm-hmm. At Paramount, and you know, I'm just thinking, I just know what I want to do.
Now, at this time, did you already have an idea of what songs you were going to produce, or you just wanted the drum?
Yes. At this time, the 4-track, I was taking Cutie Pie and I was looping it. You know what I'm talking about? Like dun 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 dun, like the first 4 bars.
Right.
I would stop it, and I had to play the record again, play the cassette, and play that 4 bars. So when the next 4 bars come in, I was recording on track 2. Boom. Right. And then I was recording on track 1 again, and then 2 and 1 and 2 until it became like maybe 5 minutes, and then Frank kind of just rapped. That's what you call a demo. Frank probably rapped the demo.
Did he have Mexican Power written specifically for that beat?
I think he just had it written, or he just wrote it, or he had it written. Man, I wish Frank was here. But I think
we'll get to that.
Yeah, I think he had written, or whatever the case was. I was zoned in into making the music, and he was zoned in into writing. You know, and that's how I always looked at it. It wasn't like, you know, maybe I would say, hey, let's change this word or something. But we did a little demo. We didn't know any better. To us, I guess it's like being a fan. Like, you hear your stuff on a cassette,
right?
And to you, you're like, wow, check that. And people are like, oh, let me get a copy of that. And then that's how and it becomes kind of, you know, like, in the hood.
Ghetto Fabulous.
Yeah, Ghetto Fabulous. So,
okay, so now, speed up. Do you get the drum machine from your cousin?
It doesn't happen till first maybe, I don't know if I showed him, or maybe John Barunda at the time spoke to we all probably got together and like, hey, because what happened was like, he did fork money out. I don't remember how much money it was. And there's a video. There is a video. If you look like on my channel on the I think it's high. I don't even know my channel. High Caliber Exclusive. If you look on there, I actually have. My mama bought me a videotape, one of those big ass videotapes like that. And I didn't know we were gonna get this far, but I might have erased over some of it.
Okay.
It's because, you know, you run out of space and you want to record Yo MTV Raps or something. So anyway, but there is, you'll see us recording our first ever recording studio was at Mexican Power. And he paid for it. Big Chill paid for it. And from there, we pressed up a record and a cassette. And whoever has the cassette with the Mexican Eagle, it was all about pride for us, man. We're young, you know, it's warriors. And it was a pride thing, man. It was never about the money.
When you guys came out with that single, obviously you guys were selling that out, if you will, out of the trunk of your car.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the phrase.
No distribution, no record deal.
Nobody's thinking about that. You're just like.
Now, how did you feel knowing that he came out saying his first lyrics were Mexican Power? Were you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We wanted, it was a statement. Who was doing that? We didn't say Latino or like, you know, this and that. Mexican Power.
Okay. Now, we're going to change the channel just a little bit because I need to ask you something that usually when I ask certain rappers, they get real pissed off because they tell me that it's a controversial subject. Me, I don't care. I didn't get inspired to do Rhodium Radio to dick ride artists.
Yeah.
I give artists their proper respect, their credit. We give them their props, okay? My thing is this, that when I ask these rappers today this question, they all shy away from it. So my question to you is, what is Chicano rap?
Now, I guess, is anybody that's Latino, or, you know, they say Latino, that they throw them in that bucket. Chicano rap. I don't like. I'm like you. I don't sit there and be like, oh yeah, we're Chicano rap. That's what they labeled us. Maybe after like maybe the new generation. I wouldn't even say the new generation. I don't pay attention really to that. Like Chicano rapper. I don't. Okay. I just do what I feel like doing, and that's it.
That song drops on Big Chill Records. Okay. At that time, did you ever hear anybody refer to you guys as that's Chicano rap?
No, never. Never.
Okay.
No.
Did you ever hear anyone? Now I'm talking about a certain time, certain era, when La Raza came out. You ever hear anybody refer to him as a Chicano rapper?
No.
What about a lighter shade of brown?
No.
Never. Okay. When do you think that name started floating around? If you had to guess, I'll tell you when I think I first heard it. I would say it was possibly late '96 and on up.
Is that when like maybe the Kool-Aid was on the radio around that area?
I believe so.
I want to say maybe that's when it happened, where they like just let's put that genre on them, like Chicano rappers.
You know, when I interviewed Misfit Soto a couple of weeks ago, when I asked, because as of right now we are filming a documentary called "What Is Chicano Rap," and I interviewed some very well-known Chicano rappers. And I caught him off guard when I asked him that question. And one guy said, well, Chicano rap, I think it's just Chicano rapping to oldies. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Another guy said, well, I think we just remake funk songs. And if that doesn't work, then we rap to more bounce. And if that doesn't work, we'll use talkbox. So that's pretty much in a nutshell what this one rapper, it wasn't me that said this. He said, that's pretty much what Chicano rap is.
Yeah.
So my next question is it a good thing to be known as a Chicano rapper, in your opinion?
I guess if you're on top of it, and that's what you're gonna do, I guess so. I mean, I guess so. Like I said, I think people could see through that. Like, yeah, I'm sure that some people could be like, yeah, they're like, I'm a Chicano rapper. I'm a Chicano rapper. So.
Now, have you ever heard somebody refer to you as a Chicano producer, Chicano DJ?
No, not that I have heard. I'm sure they probably said it or like, oh, he's a Chicano, but no, I don't think so.
Okay. No, it was just a question because your answers will definitely help me piece together this puzzle that I'm trying to put together for this documentary. So those are good answers, and I'm glad you answered it. But some people actually get upset when I ask them those questions.
Why would
well, I guess if I had to guess, it's because I guess they want to be left alone. like this is our shit. But if you really think about it, a lot of that music is just sold either at the swap meets or at the car shows.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a regional sales. You know, it won't go farther than Texas,
Exactly.
Colorado, Albuquerque, and maybe some places up north.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, and it's funny because Hashi was here last week.
Japan's real big on it.
Real big.
Yeah,
real big.
real big.
Yes, they're really big. Actually, if it's just not so much the Chicano rappers, also the culture.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. But anyways, so now back to what I was saying. The record comes out. Fast forward to where you go to the Rhodium and you're trying to convince Steve, sign us.
At the time, I think I just took some records over there because, I mean, we're like, Swami was the internet for us, I guess.
That was our social media.
That was our social media. Everybody would like, you know, that's why I went to the Rhodium because West LA, I was going to say, Music Plus, the warehouse,
Right.
they didn't have that special stuff that Steve YANO had because everybody would go and almost handmade give it to him. And that's where you would be like, hey, Steve, what's that? Because he would play the music.
Yes.
That's something
You couldn't go anywhere else.
Yeah, warehouse and Music Plus wouldn't do, you know. And so I go and I say, hey, can I leave you these on consignment? And, you know, tell me what you think. Or and I want to say, I remember this. He played it, or either he played it and later I heard the response and he was like, that Lighter Shade of Brown was already out. But they had like, what was their hit single off the top?
Sunday Afternoon.
No, I don't think it was Sunday Afternoon.
Latin Active.
I think it was before they had another one like.
They had a song called El Barrio. So they had quite a hit singles off of that first album.
But it wasn't the album. They had a single. I think Tony G produced it.
Okay.
Tony G. Yeah. So it's and I can't remember. Anyways, so I don't know if they already had an album, but like I said, I'm bad with timing, man. But I remember Steve saying, "Oh, this kind of sounds like Lighter Shade of Brown," and I was like, shaking my head like Shaggy, like what?
Did that piss you off?
I was like, no, I don't get pissed off. I'm just like, that's cool. But I was like, no, it don't. Hell no, it don't. Our shit was more, you know, you got to remember, this was NWA, gangster rap. So I was like, hell no. I said, they were more like on the pop side, you know. That's why they hit, you know, because they were playing their songs on the radio and they were doing more shows than obviously we were.
Right.
We were more like the underdogs, you know, like the Mexican. We were the NWA version.
Right,
you know,
right, okay.
So I was like, no, it's not, and I was like, whatever. So I'm like, oh. But then he calls me later on, like, hey man, I need some more, because he sold them out.
Right.
Because at first he was like downplaying it. I don't know if he was downplaying it, but I was like, whatever, just.
Well, that's like
yeah.
everybody in the business.
Yeah.
They downplay it so that they can offer you a little.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So maybe that's what it is.
So how later after that did you get signed to Skanless Records?
That was another ordeal. It's like we can almost make a movie on that because I didn't realize at the time. You know, I remember saying, "Hey, you know, you want to press up a record? Let's rent the studio." And then, that's when I got my drum machine. After that, I got my drum machine. But like I said, my cousin was a busy man. You know, so Ernie G at the time was like, "Man, I need to be in the studio." And one thing, that's when you guys went before us, so you guys got a big deal and shit.
Yeah.
So that it's Steve got broken up. He's a smart man. He bought a property and he put a studio in there. Now tell me who the hell has to, and he was giving you studio time. And Ernie G likes to be in the studio.
Right.
So I don't think I kind of knew about it a little bit, but I was thinking like, okay, this is a record label, and I wasn't trying to like disrespect my cousin. I didn't even think about that. I was like, hey, like, you guys figure it out. Look, chill. I want to go over here. This is a record label.
Right.
You guys, I didn't care about the money. You got whatever you want. I was like, hey, but he got really upset. I mean, to where like we were running around the table.
You know, you said something that is very, very true, and I would like the audience to hear that. When I first started producing, I never did it for the money. I never did it for the money. And I've always told friends, and I've always told even my son, I don't chase money. If you release good music, money will come knocking. I mean, we got a deal, once again, off of a mixtape, not even looking for a record deal. So let me tell you something that possibly you didn't know. Steve let me know about you guys. Okay, he actually showed me a newspaper clipping where it talked about Mexican Power, and it had a picture of you and Frank together.
Okay.
And he said, I'm going to sign these guys. He said, and I remember it was the first time before Paris Hilton. He said, these guys are hot.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, hot? You know, when I think hot, I'm thinking of a girl.
Yeah,
She's hot.
That was, you got to remember, Steve YANO was Japanese.
Yeah.
And
so he said, these guys are hot.
He was a straight date.
So I said, well, Mexican Power? Now, I said, yeah. I said, you just want to sign them to that one song? And he said, no, they got more shit. And I was like, okay. But I will say this, and this is kind of skipping ahead a little bit. When I started to hear your guys' music, I was fucking blown away, honestly. I really, your production, Frank's mic presence, his delivery, his lyrics, there was nothing out there like it, bro. You couldn't even compare Frost to him.
Yeah.
It was nothing out there like it. I did a show with Frost and Lighter Shade of Brown up north when you guys were still working on the first album. Okay? This is when you guys were doing the... working in the album in Alhambra. Okay. And I told Frost, I talked to Frank V, so you guys are supposed to be doing a song together. And when I say Frost, I'm talking about Kid Frost, La Raza, Kid Frost. And he said, really, what did you say about me? And I said, well, he said that you guys are supposed to do a song. I think the song was called Shoot the Puta. I don't think it ever came out.
I don't think it ever came out.
Okay. So that was the name of the song. And he goes, yeah, he's supposed to put me on. Now, me and High C, we filmed the Leave My Crows Alone video at Venice Beach.
Yeah.
That same night, we went to go put gas after we left the video shoot. We run into Bobby and Robert from Lighter Shade of Brown at a gas station. It was weird. Crazy. And I remember he said, what are you guys working on? And I said, nothing. And he Robert asked me, what is Proper Dose doing? They had already known of you guys.
Yeah.
And I said, finishing up their album, that's it. And I remember Robert said, are they dissing anybody? You know, and I said, not that I know of. They were concerned because they thought you guys were going to actually diss them. Was there ever any truth to that?
Yeah. If you listen to, what song is it? I'm bad with names and I just do shit at the moment. I don't think.
Is it the one dancing on stage like chavalas and doing nada to bring up the raza?
Yeah. That could have been a little shot towards them, but you gotta remember at the time that's kind of like what it was.
Entertainer, I think.
Yeah, it's. I think I was gonna say is you're the entertainer. Yeah. You know.
Okay.
So I think that's a song that was dissing them. Yeah, it was a diss.
Do you ever remember why Frost never made it on the album? Because I had heard he was supposed to be on that record. So I don't know. Maybe contracts.
I never even thought like, oh yeah, Kid Frost. You know. You know.
Okay, because when I brought that up to him, that was one of the things he said. He said, "Yeah, I'm supposed to do a song," you know, and I was like, "Oh yeah." You know, Frank told me, you know.
There might have been like, you know how labels are. Like he was signed to Virgin, right?
Yes, I found correct.
And then it's like you got to ask for permission. Like they just if it doesn't benefit them, they probably be like, no, you can't use this. You know,
I'll tell you what. I know you don't really care for it, but one of my favorite songs was a song called "One Summer Night."
Okay.
Which we'll play later on. That was one of my favorite songs. I loved Hard Times. I loved The Entertainer. Of course, I love Mexican Power, Motherfucking Mexican. I could name pretty much all of them because that shit was dope, bro.
Yeah.
That was when I first bought my first Benz, bro. I was like 22 years old. And I was bumping the cassette in my car, drunk as hell, driving home from Alhambra, bumping that shit. And Steve was really, really hyped up on you guys.
Yeah.
Now, when the sales started to go down, because he was selling a lot.
Yeah.
He started thinking maybe it was too brown. That's what he said.
Okay.
You know, but
could be.
But you know what? That shit was tough, man. What is your favorite song? If I had to twist your arm on that first album, what would you say was your favorite song?
I don't go for the popular stuff, so it wouldn't have been like even Mexican Power was like a statement. It was like that. But for me, probably I keep out of Frank V. I kind of go for the stuff that's not too popular. That's always
that
been
shit was hard, bro. That
Yeah.
shit was tough. Now, here's the $1 million question, okay? When I posted last Thursday on IG, and by the way, everybody that's looking for me on IG, for some reason, IG deleted my ass again. That was my second page. I started to gain followers, and I woke up on Friday of last week and I just was fucking logged out. You know, why that happens, I don't know. My son and everybody tells me, oh, there were a bunch of haters. I don't really know. You know, if you don't like the shit that I post, and all I do is post up throwbacks, you know, album covers or whatever. If you don't like it, don't come on my fucking page, like, period. So I posted that Ernie G was going to be here, and the number one question was, where is Frank V? So now my question to you is, where is Frank V from what you know of?
That's a good question. I would like to know myself, because I would have said, hey, man, come down. This got to be told, dude, because he has a great memory. Frank V has a great memory. Frank V, I mean, I think the best times wasn't just record. It was going on tour, dude, sitting in the Astro van. And I remember that Astro van had a cooler in the middle. It was luxurious touring, so it was all bucket seats. And those were the best times, because we used to bump, not rap, nothing. He used to school me to a lot of old classic songs. He would tell me this or that, the Beatles and this. So Frank V was really, and I like that. That's the to me what was special.
It was a break from hip hop.
From hip hop, yeah. But
I have to bring you back. Where is he? Where? Okay, now let me narrow it down more. What are the stories that you have heard of where possibly Frank V is?
I mean, you don't hear too much about him, but last time he was in Oregon, the last time he came to my house, and I want to say 2013, and we might have recorded a couple songs.
Was that about the last time physically you saw him in person?
Yeah, physically I saw him in person.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Whenever I interview somebody, even though I've known you for years, I still do research and I ask people certain things. And I look at a lot of blogs, you know, because I never want to interview somebody and be unprepared. Okay. I read a lot of blogs about him, and one of them was that, and actually I received a phone call from someone that told me that he was locked up in Oregon. Okay. Somebody said he was going to do 2 to 3 years. I don't know if that's true. Again, this is what I've read. One guy actually confirmed that as of right now, he is still locked up, still incarcerated. On what charges, I never asked, and I've never read on why he's locked up. But that's what I heard.
I mean, it could be. It's like it ain't like it's the first time. Frank V been in jail before, so.
Right, so this is nothing new.
This is nothing new. So I mean, I could say, yeah, maybe that's where he's at, you know. Okay. And people would probably be like, hey, they asked me too, like, where you and Frank V should. Well, sometimes because you're just a group, people assume you're buddy, but that wasn't the case. No, we weren't like not we. What I'm trying to say is we never really hung out after we did what we did. Even though it was like the same people, we knew the same people in the hood, but there's different cliques. You're in a different. I hang out over here, and you hang out over there. It was all good but I didn't really see him after the shows and all that stuff. It was only like, hey, we need to go here, and that was it.
The last time you saw him face to face, was that the last time you actually spoke to him?
I spoke. I want to say, and again, I don't want nobody to say no, that's but I want to say around 2013. It might have been, 2013, okay. maybe 2009. I might have, it's that much of a.
And you guys were working on a demo, if I'm correct?
Yeah, I was trying to be like, hey, let's do this, but what you fail to realize that once you kind of go through the motions, and that whatever it was. It's kind of, you already know how it is, and you're like kind of burnt.
You already know how the book's gonna end.
Yeah, you already know how the book. So now you're worrying about like people nowadays flake on you because they can't get a ride. I remember Ernie G would go to Alhambra every single time. If you told me to be there at 10, I'd be there. If a show's happening, I'd be there. And Frank V, when you're a rock star, where's Frank V? He's not showing up today. That's what happens.
So you guys finished the second album, which to me, I believe was another classic. Now, I'm saying this, you're not saying this.
Yeah.
This is just me, not only as a friend, but also a fan. Everybody that I've interviewed, I like to say, not only am I a friend, but I'm also a fan of their music. You know, I wouldn't be producing or working or DJing with somebody if I didn't like their shit.
Yeah.
Not all money is good money.
Yeah.
I've known people that have told me, hey, I want you to do some scratching on one of my songs. Let me hear the song.
Yeah.
I'm good, bro. And I've turned down money.
Yeah.
There's times where people have hired me to do beats, and once I heard their lyrics, I gave them their money back and I took my beat back.
Yeah.
You know, some people say maybe that's not good business, but that's just the way I am.
Exactly.
So now, the second album to me was a classic as well. Okay, I really liked Ghetto Baseball. Yeah. That's one. I mean, I can go down the list.
That Ghetto Baseball, man. If people don't know, just YouTube Ghetto Baseball by Frank V. That right there, to this day, and call it what you will, I'll put money on Frank V. Like, whether we fell off or call it what you want, but if they're still talking about you maybe 25 years later,
right?
Then okay,
you made an impact.
Yeah, I'll be like, okay, you made an impact or something.
What would you say was your favorite song off that second one? Would it be Ghetto Baseball?
Yeah, I want to say Ghetto Baseball.
Okay, now, if you guys are referred to today as Chicano rap, then I'm gonna make a statement, okay? And this is not my opinion, this is facts. If you guys are known, once again, I'm gonna repeat it, as Chicano rap, the first Proper Dose album and the second Proper Dose album, to me, are the epitome of Chicano rap. I have yet, and I challenge everyone, change my mind. I have yet to hear an album that tops those two.
I agree, but I don't want to be the one saying it because it doesn't sound as good as it is coming from other people.
Well, I'm saying it, so if anybody gets pissed off or anybody wants to debate, you know what? Like I said, change my mind, throw names. But
and I think people know that. Like, you don't even have to say it. But even like, there's been people from you know, different neighborhoods that I bumped into later on. You grow up, and they're not gonna tell you like, bro, like, because you know nobody wants to be dick riding people. That's how they feel,
of course.
But so that's why we get love from Arizona, from Texas, from everywhere else. But around here, everybody kind of like, and I understand. But later on, they told me like, dude, your shit was hard. Everybody thought you guys, you know, hard. And I'm like, I knew that. I'm like, come on. But I did it for you guys. I did it for the whole Mexican Power. I did it for everybody. I did that shit for everybody.
Was there ever a third album?
Yeah, I think it was he. But by that time, me and Frank were like, you know, because it just got a little bit too much for me. Okay. Like there's only so much I can take, like, you know.
Reason why I asked that, because I saw an album one time that said Proper Dose, and the title of the album was called Overdose.
Yeah, that's, I think, when he went to when he went to San Diego and they probably snatched him up, and here's
now,
you know.
Overdose, was he talking about the Proper Dose was done, or was he talking about overdose as in drugs?
I want to say I don't take it, even if it was overdose, like it was over. That's pretty fucking clever. Sounds like Frank V. Like that's clever. Overdose. Why I would name it too, but
was there ever a time where you figured, you know, fuck it, we just went our separate ways?
Oh yeah, like by the third album, I already knew, like, you know, you have your pride, bro. Like, you have your pride. So I'm like, as much as, hey, as dope as you can be, and no hard feelings. Like, I wish that guy the best of luck. Like, there was never hard. We would always kind of still talk and be like, hey, come through, or like whatever. But it would never happen. It was just, it's different. You grow out of it, or that when I'm talking about that magic is gone, dude. That's why people, and it's not only me. I'm not talking. EPMD broke up.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
of course.
NWA broke up. Yeah. Ice Cube went his own way. It happens. Yeah. You know, it happens.
Now, let me say this, because sometimes, and I know some people are probably going to get upset at what I'm about to say, but I don't care, because, you know, I speak my mind. Yeah. I found out that the older you get, the less you care what people think, okay? Exactly. You have a bunch of dick-riding fans that will whisper in the rapper's ear, you don't need him. Mm-hmm. You know, my other homeboy, he does beats for cheaper, or I can get this producer, or I can get this producer. Usually when a rapper is somewhat on top, they tend to believe that, because these guys are just jocking their ass. I've sat in a room with a very well-known artist, okay? Platinums all over his wall. You know, record sales, millions of records, known all over the world. I won't mention his name, personal friend of mine. He was playing music. I was shaking my head like, okay, this is not the guy that I know. He had about 10 dudes in the room, and they were all dick riding him, telling him that his music was amazing.
Yeah.
He didn't listen to them, but he turns around and he tells me, "What do you think about this song?" And I said, "It's not the guy that I know. You know, this is not you." And excuse me. He said, "Okay, what do you, I go, it's just not you. You're going off way off on left field." And he said, "Okay." He took that song off of his album. And you know why? Because I didn't dick ride him and just tell him that it was the shit. Now, a lot of guys, I'm sure we're in Frank's ear. You don't need that dude, you know. And you know what? Sometimes as producers, here's where we get reduced to. Well, he's just a DJ. You can get any DJ. You know, for years, and I never had anything against High C because I know it wasn't him. People would always tell High C, "Well, you don't need another DJ," not knowing that I produced a whole fucking album.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't know that, but they just referred to me as the DJ. You can always get somebody else. And I believe part of that is what happened between you guys.
Could yeah, you know, I never thought about it that way, but I never. Hey, it was what it was.
So if people are getting pissed off right now, then the shoe fit.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
it, yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna come right back. Okay. One thing about these guys that you guys didn't know, they actually were DJs at Power 106 for a hot minute. We're going to talk about what actually took place and why they're not there anymore, and what is Ernie doing now, what is Ernie going to be doing in the future. You are going to want to stay tuned because it's actually pretty exciting. So, once again, my boy Johnny Boy, please take us away, and we're going to be listening to another radio drop. Okay,
there was another one.
There's another one, Brother
shit.
Roughnecks, the Roughneck Show.
Okay.
And Johnny Boy, I know one of them is On and On. And what was the other one, if I'm correct? But we'll give you the titles actually after the songs. Something to Bump and On and On. Stay tuned, we'll be back.
The Roughneck Show, that's what I keep on when I get my late night creep on. The Roughneck Show, that's what I keep on when I get my late night creep on. Let's take a little trip and step into the AM with the homeboys. Kicking all the mayhem, I'm not in love, so I patiently wait for 1 o'clock for C- to bust out the crate and kick a fat ass mix while my homie Chalk spits game from 1 to 6. When I need a fix of the funk, got the chills and I'm shaking. Tuned to 105.9, now I'm fine on cloud 9, riding the beat like a G-Ride Lex. Proper those kicking back with the Roughneck. The Roughneck Show, that's what I keep on when I get my late night creep on. The Roughneck Show, that's what I keep on when I get my late night creep on. The Roughneck Show, that's what I keep on when I get my late night creep on. The Roughneck Show, that's what I keep on when I get my late night creep on. Something to bump when you're rolling that G-Ride. Something to bump when your ride's going side to side and hitting that pancake. Ernie G, why don't you let the beat break so I could keep flowing to the funk? I'm bringing the shit that they can bump in the trunk, so people in a place to get busy, get down. With two brothers that live on the wicked side of town. Round and round it goes, caught up in the mix with the tricks and the hoes. Who knows, we might just reach the top if we keep coming non-stop and drop the shit that you can bump in a hoopty. Going down the street, backseat full of groupies. Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Don't be afraid to pull it out and begin. Something to bump.
If you want it and you take it, you can get on down.
Funky ass shit for your system.
If you want it and you take it, you can get on down.
Funky ass shit for your system.
Another day, another ducket. Bringing some shit that you can bump in the bucket. Fuck it, if you ain't down with the sound. I'm on the freeway, headed westbound. I'm down with the homies that are down with me. But those who are not, look out for the buckshots. But why not kick back instead? And down a couple 24 OZs to the head. Thought we were gone, you were misled. And if you did us wrong, fool, you probably caught lead. But that's another story for another time. So let the music take your mind. Something to bump,
to bump. You can get on down, down.
Funky ass shit for your system.
If you're something and you like it, you can get on down, down.
Funky ass shit for your system.
Pop the top and take a little sip with me. Take a hit and take a little trip with me as I take you for a ride through the twilight zone. Don't need a spaceship, I use the microphone. And as we move along, fool, it gets deep. And that's coming straight to you from the creep. Frank B, Ernie G, the proper dose. Dropping the bombs from coast to coast. And those that know us well. And those that don't could go to hell. As I bail to the party, strapped with the 9 and tails from the west side, bumping in the Alpine. Stroll inside and get loose, feeling the effects of the juice. So if you're with it and you dig it, you could get on down as I score another point for the Brown. Something to
If you're
bump.
something and you like it, you can get on down, down.
Funky ass shit for your system.
If you're something and you like it, you can get on down, down.
Funky ass shit for your system.
If you're something and you like it, you can get on down, down.
Funky ass shit for your system.
If you're something and you like it, you can get on down, down.
Funky ass shit for your system.
I said a hip hop Uvalette. The party jumps off in my Chevrolet. 4 hyenas in the back, time to have fun. Ernie G's driving, I'm sitting gun. Now what you hear won't be no stress when I'm rapping to the beat. And me, Frank B, and Ernie G are guaranteed to move your feet. You see, our names are known from coast to coast, while the feedman hyenas yelling proper those. I'm feeling high, my ride is low, my phone is chipped, so I'm keeping low pro. I got a bang bang, the hyena in the middle with the bedroom eyes. It can't be no riddle, let's rock. And you don't stop. I rock the rhythm that'll make your panties drop. Now so far you heard my voice, but I brought my dog along. And next on the mic is my man G. Come on, fool, sing that song.
I said a ERN, the IEG, and you know that is no lie. I cut it up on the tables cause you know that I'm able, and I also rock the mic. Check it out, I'm 5'10", y me visto bien, and all the hyenas wanna get with me. You see, I get more pros than Muhammad Ali, so player haters are dissing me. I said a hotel, motel, what you gonna do today? I'm gonna get some freedom behind, I swoop up my dog and drive off in my drop 6 tray. I said a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. And when I'm through with baby doll, then I'll do her friend, a Frank G, my perro. It's on you, so what you gonna do?
Well, it's on and on and on and on and on. The hyenas don't stop until the break of dawn. Have you ever went to a food's house to grub and the food is just no good? I mean, the tacos are soggy, the beans are mush, and the tortillas taste like wood. So you try to be slick like you think you can by saying that you gotta drive far. And then he says, what you mean, have some more of these beans? Cause fool, you don't even have a car. And on and on and on and on and on. The hyenas don't stop until the break of dawn. And it's on and on and on and on. The bottle ain't empty, so the party's still on.
I guess by now you can take a hunch and find that I am the player of the month, but that's okay. I'll still keep in stride, cause all I'm here to do is just tag step behind.
And on and on and on and on and on. The hyenas don't stop until the break of dawn. I'm gonna freak you here, I'm gonna freak you there. I'm gonna freak you out of your underwear, cause I'm one of a kind and I'll shock your mind. I'll put the dit in your behind. Skip it a bebop, we rock the proper two. What's up, Califas, we love you.
Cause you rock and you roll with so much soul, and it ain't no question who's in control. I don't mean no bragging, I don't mean no boast, but I'm putting it down for the West Coast.
I was scrolling through the pad one afternoon. This hyena stopped me for an interview. She said she heard stories and she heard fables. I got a black box and I get free cable. This young ass hyena I did adore, so I spit the game like I never did before. She said, damn Frank G, I'm in love with you. And all that masa that I heard could not have been true. I said, by the way, Mija, what's your name? She said, I go by the name of Mary Jane, and you could be my lady, you surely can. And you could dump that fool called Superman. I said, he's a hoto, I do suppose, flying through the air in pantyhose. He may be a pretty boy or even cute, but he looks like a soca in the blue and red suit. I said, you need a man that's from the west, who got the bomb, can't fade the stress. He may be able to fly all through the night, but can he who ride through the early light? He may satisfy you with his taquito, but I can bust you out with my big burrito. Gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, do it, do it. Cause I'm here, and I'm there, and I'm Big Bad Frank, I'm everywhere. It's like a hip hop, what can I say? I can't fit them all inside my 6 tray, so I called Ernie G with the Astro van. Hyenas packed in like a sardine can, on our way to the Volo to see what was jumping. Hyenas were deep and the beat was bumping, so I grabbed the mic and rocked it like the 80s. Said I ain't leaving here without at least 2 ladies. And on and on and on and on and on. The hyenas don't stop until the break of dawn. And it's on and on and on and on. The bottle ain't empty, so the party's still on.
Yo, thank you everybody for tuning in and for welcome back. Actually, you know what's so dope about one of those songs, On and On? You actually heard Ernie G rap.
I did rap, huh?
That was dope, man.
I think Frank V wrote the lyrics for me though.
Oh really?
Yeah. He ghostwriter. So I don't write my own rhymes.
Okay.
For the haters.
You dropped first album, second album. Is that when A lot of people don't know that you guys actually were DJs at Power 106. Around what year did that happen?
I don't know why I remember that.
Right.
1996.
Okay, 96. Your both albums were already out?
Well, for sure, Mexican Power was out. And I want to say We're At It Again came out in 95.
How did you guys get that hookup to work at Power?
Okay, back in the days, remember we had to kind of almost say, hey, we got a new album, let's promote it.
Right.
And Power 106 was, again, the web. Like, that's what you want to do. You want to get your stuff on the radio. So, long story short, somehow we hook up and we get in there. And this is how they were. At that time, the Mexican, the Latinos were blowing up. And Power 106 wanted to
right,
snatch up the Latinos and
right, the movement.
So I think somebody in there is smart enough to know, like, hey, get those guys to do a little drop for us. So we're like, they call us up, man, and they're like, hey, we need you to. We don't really want to promote. This is what I'm thinking. That's not what they told us. We don't really want to promote your records. There's nothing, but can you guys come up with some kind of a drop or something like Power 106 where hip hop lives, but like in Spanish, like Spanish lingo, and we're like. We're like, Órale, Power 106, Power 106. Yeah, that. Okay, go and record it with Edward Scissorhands. I remember that guy, Edward Scissorhands. Oh, and he's very important because we did that a couple times, and they were good at cutting checks, bro.
Now, was that through Steve, or did Power 106 contact you guys personally?
Oh, I think, no, if it was through Steve at the end, they were contacting us personally. Okay. We were going up there. And they were cutting them checks. Like, I think at that time, for just saying something like that, Power 106, Simon. Yeah, they loved that. They would be like, okay, go see so-and-so. And they cut us $250 each, bro. I'm like, damn, why for not, that? Huh? Why not? So, if you guys, well, I know this. Me and Frank V had a sarcastic relationship. We were sarcastic with each other.
I know he was, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He's a sarcastic guy. And if you weren't up on game, if you were a fan, like, hey, Frank, sure, buddy. Yeah, anytime you want. You would believe that what he's telling you is, and I'm like, bro, you're going in for a ride. But, hey, I don't want to shoot your plane down. Anyways, make a long story short, me and him, when we were doing all this stuff in the booth, recording.
These radio drops that were hearing.
The radio drops and, like, say this and all that. While that was happening, me and him would be like, hey, fool, you should change your name to MC Assassin. And then he would laugh, but he knows I'm being sarcastic, Right. He's like, you should be DJ Thunder or something. Like, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll be there. So we're having fun in it. And that was the whole beauty of it. It was fun. So what would happen, the engineer or whatever, that he would be laughing, dude. I'm like, hey, man, you need to tell them to put us on the air because you guys don't know what the hell you're doing here. But we were just joking.
Right. Just screwing around.
We were joking, and one day, dude, believe it or not, one day they say, hey, guys, report at 12 o'clock at night. Bring some headphones and report here. And we're like, all right, cool.
Right. You guys didn't know.
We didn't know. We report. Okay, this. They gave us like a 1-day training. And the next thing you know, okay, you guys are going to be on the air.
1-day training?
Maybe 2 or 3. Okay, but it just sounds better, right? If I say
that. Okay, disregard my question.
Part of the movie, yeah. So, anyways, and that's what happened. We got a job at Power 106. Yes, on the air. We were on the air. I remember. You know what I do remember? I was making $35 an hour at 1996, bro.
So 12 o'clock to what time?
I think the Baker boys were coming in the morning.
What about 5 or 6?
5. Yeah, about 5.
So they gave you guys like the vampire hours.
But that was all right.
Just to start off.
Yeah.
It was just to start off. Now.
Which was a bad thing. But.
Okay. I heard through the grapevine, correct me if I'm wrong, that you guys actually ended up getting fired.
We got fired.
Okay. Fired. How long before you guys got fired?
I think and again, I have the worst memory. I do.
You keep reminding me of that.
I tell you,
so if you can remember
if I have Alzheimer's disease later on, you'll know that I wasn't bullshitting. But I think we lasted about a year.
Oh, wow.
A year. But let's just say 6 months in case, I don't want nobody to say I was lying. But to the best of my knowledge, I learned that word. Okay. So if you guys ever in trouble, use that. To the best of my knowledge.
I've been blessed with a photographic memory. I remember a lot of shit.
I don't.
It's almost like in my mind, I see, like, you know how we stack our records and we put in a file, right here's my funk, right here's my classic soul, right? That's how I remember shit throughout the years. I say that because I remember Steve one day tells me, and in his voice, man, I can't believe those guys got fired. And I said, what the hell happened? Now, tell me your story, and I'll tell you Steve's story.
My story is this. So we finished our shift, I guess, and here I go again. It might have been it might have been the next day. Frank calls me and says, yo, Michelle Mercer wants to see us in her office by, let's say, 2 o'clock today. I'm like, she didn't call me. You know, we always play that like.
And who was Michelle Mercer at the time?
Michelle Mercer was a big wig. I want to say, Power, whatever you call him, what E-Man is right now or something. Okay. Michelle Mercer. Somebody can tell me who Michelle Mercer was. But he tells me that, so I just play like, well, she didn't call me, so I'm
cool.
I'm cool. I'm like, shit. I know he ain't bullshitting. We need to go over there. So let's say an hour before, I'm like, hey, Michelle, Frank tells me that you want us to be there, like in 30 minutes. She's like, oh my God, you guys are not here? I'm like, well, I don't know. I said, look, man, I'm just going to do this. I'm paraphrasing. But he's like, you guys are fired. I'm like, whoa, what happened? What? Oh, you don't know what happened? I'm like, and honestly, I don't know what happened.
Now, keep in mind, for the audience that may not know, for those that may not be from LA or California, Power 106 was the biggest radio station.
It still probably is one of the biggest radio stations now.
But in LA, that was the station.
Yeah.
Okay, if you came from New York, you came from Louisiana, from Florida, you tuned in to
Big
Power
Boy
106.
Okay.
So that's how big this was.
Yeah.
So you guys are fired, and what did she say you guys did?
She said somebody left. What is it?
Just say it,
can,
man.
40 ounce, and a used rubber on her desk.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you yes or no.
Was it me? No.
True or false?
Was it me?
True or false? Was that true or false?
That was true.
Okay.
That was true.
Whose rubber was it?
Not mine. Because look, man.
Too big?
No, I don't know. I didn't see it, so I don't know. Because if it was,
I'm just joking.
I would have cleaned it up.
Of course. Of
course. Dude. I mean, like your boy Frank liked to drink, and he's the rock star. I'm just the engineer behind the board.
Right.
Sometimes I had to wake him up by 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. They had a little couch. I'd be like, Frank, we're coming. We're going in 3 minutes. Because I used to put all the commercials. Right. Like, Frank. Frank was out like a baby. Well, here comes Ernie G. I'm like, Power 106, and I had to represent, And there was nobody in the office. It was night shift. So it was just us.
It almost seemed like at times the golden opportunities that Frank had, it almost seems like he never took things serious.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part, because I work with rappers that, like, to me, could be that goose that lays the golden egg.
Yeah.
But they never took that shit seriously. And you knew how the story was going to end. And it did.
It did.
You guys got booted off the biggest radio station in LA, bro. LA, I like to say, and I believe this is true, the entertainment capital of the world.
Yes.
This is Hollywood, bro.
Yes.
And you guys got fired.
We got fired. And not only that, what happens is people say, oh, what happened? Well, you get blackballed because that travels.
Right.
So, like, why don't you go get another, bro? At that point, I was like, and then it was like, well, you took a mic from there. I'm like, bro, they didn't even miss that mic. That thing was on the ground and shit. I'm like, and that was way before this. And I'm like, man, I said, and
Here's another story that I've heard. There was a guy named Frank Lozano.
Yes.
That used to be on there. Lozano on the Loose.
Yes.
We're friends actually on Facebook. Good dude.
Uh-huh.
Was there ever a beef or a problem between you guys that you can remember?
I want to say there probably was one, but it was never with me. I never started nothing. I was the nice guy.
Okay.
I was trying to mend whatever was like I needed, because I knew the vision. I seen where I wanted to go. So I'm like, man, Frank, if Frank needed to be, I would go get him, give him a ride.
Right.
Or somebody else would go give him a ride to a certain time. But no, not if there was, maybe you know about it, and then maybe I can collaborate on it. But I'm like, I don't recall.
I had heard the story went that Frank and him had a beef. That was it.
That I want to now. It's kind of like coming back. I think so because remember, like those drops you guys heard right now during the break. There was like, what was it, a rap attack type of thing?
Yes.
Where like our song was actually hit number 1. I think it was Mexican Power.
Yeah, they actually you guys went up against Jump from
you're right.
Crisscross. And beat Jump.
We beat, yeah.
People would call and say, we take Mexican Power over Jump or whatever. You guys won.
Yeah.
The story was that Frank Lozano actually said, because whatever beef he had with Frank, that he said, I will never ever play a Proper Dose record on Power 106. The reason why I brought that up, because you said that you guys get blackballed. So I was wondering if that was part of it.
I don't think that was part of it. I think that was maybe
his personal beef.
His personal beef. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it didn't only happen. I don't know who else it happened, but I remember him calling because we had the number to the hotline.
Okay.
And I don't even know if it was when we were on the air or before we were on the air. And I think we beat like the Red Man and Eric Sermon or something. They had a single. I think one of our songs they beat us.
Uh-huh.
And then Frank, maybe he called up and like, oh, fuck them and fuck this. And
that's right. I believe he cussed over the air.
And maybe it wasn't over the air, but just say you're the personality and those are your guests. Right. And I call you, Tony, oh, fuck them. You're going to be like, bro, they're not playing that shit. And they're like, you out of here, dude. And
wow.
That was kind of like, but that was Frank. That was Frank V.
I mean, you're kind of describing like the Mexican Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy just popped pills and drank and didn't give a shit. And at the age of 27, he checked himself out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God that Frank's still around.
Yeah,
You know what's funny, because a lot of people may not know this, that Frank actually came here when I built this studio. I want to say like in 2005.
Okay.
I built this studio and I called him. And I said, Frank, you need to come down. I don't know if you remember, that's when he was eating good, drinking a lot of water, and he actually slimmed down. Okay, and we had a meeting here, and I said, I want to produce a record. And I told him the truth. I love Ernie's production, and I'm not going to compete against it. But I want to give you some Tony A production.
Yeah.
One thing, Ernie, I heard a quote years ago from Steve Jobs, okay, the Apple guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he said this when they asked him, about Microsoft doing this. What are we going to do? And he said this, I'm not trying to be better than my competition. I just want to be different. So I never wanted to try to be better than you or better than any other producer. I just wanted to be different. Mm-hmm. So I told him, I want to do a different album. But the name of the album, I had already had a name. I wanted to call it Aquí para Frank V.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do it like, remember the East Side Records?
Yeah.
It'd be in front of a body shop or whatnot. I already had a photographer, everything ready. I started doing beats. He came twice. And when he came twice, he just came, let me hear him. I gave it to him, showed up twice and never showed up again.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. But at the time when you're doing it, that's why I say, when you're doing it, when it's brand new, it's kind of, oh yeah, come on. And then once you kind of get a taste for it, you kind of either, I won't say slouch, just lack of a better word, but you know what, and the last time I talked to him, I said, Frank, like, we were much older now, and I'm the kind of guy that looks around and be like, I see, a lot of people came through the studio, mm-hmm. and I be seeing shit that they don't think I be seeing. I'm like, hey, bro, you depressed, right? And I remember him telling me, yeah, I think I am depressed. Like, he was going through something. Right. So when you're young, nobody wants, they don't pay attention. So I don't know.
You know what? Steve used to always listen to me. When I was a youngster, he used to always listen to me, because a lot of people don't know that he was going to a major university studying to be a psychologist.
Okay.
But he found out he could make more records selling at the swap meet, more money selling records at the swap meet.
Yeah.
Crazy, okay? So he checks out of there. So many times he used to try to pick my brain. Tony, what's going on in your life? See, to him, it was kind of hard to pick my brain. I'll tell you why. Because I was never one of those depressed persons. You would never see me down, getting drunk, fucking bumping Chalino, Vicente Fernandez, taking shots. I was never that guy. If I ever got myself in a rut, I always knew that I could get myself out of it. So when I saw guys come to the studio and I knew they were down, it was always had to do with something about baby mama.
Yes.
She cheated on me. And it was always the girl's fault, not theirs.
Yes.
Okay, so so I understand what you're saying about the way some of these rappers and you see it.
Or the rappers get on the phone and they do this, like, hold on, and they go outside and you kind of hear them like, okay.
Yeah.
So I dealt with a lot of, and I see it, and maybe because I know, because it's happened to me too, so I understand it. I don't want to say that it didn't happen, but that's what happens, and things happen, like.
Well, one of the funniest stories about Frank B, he was here, okay? Mm-hmm. He was on his phone, and he hangs up, and he's putting me on hold, and I'm just sitting right there, like, kind of like, looking at him, and he's like, okay, baby, I love you. All right, I'll talk to you later. He had the flip phone.
Yeah.
Closes it. About 2 minutes later, somebody else calls him, and he goes, shoot, I got to take this phone call. Yeah, okay, listen, I'm right in the meeting. Let me go ahead and call you back. Okay, baby, I love you. All right, I'll talk to you later. Hangs up. 5 minutes later, the phone rings again. That happened 5 times. And I just said, dude, you need to stop this shit. And here's what he said. Hold on, this is the last one, I promise.
Yeah. That's like,
so he's like, okay, mama, yeah, I'll call you after. All right, baby, I love you. All right, I'll talk to you later. And I said, your girl calls you that many times? He goes, no, that was 5 different ones.
Yeah, I was going to tell you it was 5. Yeah, that's what you never think that, hey, that's going to happen. Because you're like, hey, I'm going to call. But it happens. It happened.
And that type of shit, believe it or not, kind of derails you from what you really want to accomplish. And you don't accomplish nothing.
You don't.
And if it's true, sad to say, that's why possibly he's incarcerated today. And I wish him nothing but the best, and I wish he would get out, because you've known him for a long time, I've known him for a long time, and we don't deny his talent.
Oh, no. I think he's the best. I think he's the best to this day.
Now tell me the guy. Now, here's the funny part. Some people know, some people don't know. They would call him the what? The Mexican what?
Ice Cube.
The Mexican Ice Cube. Yeah.
In his primes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ice Cube.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. So, anyways, moving on. What is Ernie G doing today? Is Ernie G engineering a project? Because I know you love engineering. When I was on IG, and for those, once again, I'm going to announce my IG they just booted my ass. I don't know what it was.
The second time, right?
Second time. It wasn't like I even had that many followers. My first IG had 4,000.
Yeah.
They booted my ass. And when I say booted, you just log in and it just says logged out. You tried logging back in and it tells you you've been blocked. If you feel you reached a mistake, appeal it. So I appealed it, followed all the procedures. The very next day, you've been permanently disabled. Okay, cool. I tried getting another one. No problem. I had maybe 1,200 followers. Maybe within a month, I get logged out again. So for those that have been asking me, because I've been getting text messages on am I still on IG? For the moment, no. Over the weekend, I'll probably make another one. But now, damn, I even lost my train of thought now. So much for a guy that has a great memory. Yeah. But anyway, so Ernie G, there it is. Ernie G loves to produce, loves to engineer, because I see your IG stories.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, sometimes I see you post shit.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, I don't know, since bien pedo, like you just delete it.
Yeah, that happens.
What's up with that?
I just like, I go through little things, and I'm sure everybody else does, and I just like, okay, I wake up and like, what was I thinking? Like Ice Cube, what was I thinking? Boom. And that's it. Yeah. So, and sometimes I do it so I can remember the next day. You know how I forget? Because I'll do something, I'm like, I really like this, and I get that feeling, and in the morning, I'm like, damn, what was I thinking? Nah, I don't like it.
Right.
And I just, and it might have been great, because most of the time, people was like, oh, I didn't like that song.
See, I told you, now you could do whatever the hell you want. You're a grown man, and I got nothing but love for you. But many times, a lot of producers, they're producing a beat.
Overproduce.
No. And they play it on Instagram or Facebook, and all you're doing is giving other producers ideas, and they'll take that shit.
You're right, because I have heard people.
I remember you sampled like a Culture Club song,
and
I thought that was the shit right there.
Yeah, I still have it, and I think it's.
And I told you need to take that one off, bro.
Yeah,
because somebody from fucking Texas, Florida, whatever, will listen to that shit and just say, I didn't take it from you. So. I get guys all the time. Hey man, where can I listen to your beats? You can't.
Yeah.
Why not? I said, you think I'm just gonna give you ideas to take?
Yeah.
What I like to do, I like to tailor make a song or a beat specifically for a rapper.
Like my boy Conejo says, custom made for the streets.
That's exactly
that always stuck to custom made for the streets.
Much love to Conejo. We're trying to get you on here.
Yeah.
So please get at me. So other than that, what is Ernie G doing now? As far as music is concerned.
as music, the great thing about technology now is that everything's in the box. Like, when I mean in the box is on your computer. Sure, you like to be, even the greatest people that you see in big studios, it's almost like they got this big old $1 million board, but they're not using they're just running their computer through the board, and it's for a vibe. If I could afford that and bring on my homies and vibe out, I'd do it. But anyways, we come so far now that, I mean, some of the greatest engineers. Now that's what I do. So I started DJing. I started trying to figure out what producing. And at the time, I was working with great equipment that I knew it was great, but I didn't know what it is.
Right.
You know, it's like me telling you that's a great compressor. And now, because of technology, I wish I can have all those toys. Like, if I had the money, I'd buy them just to say I buy them. Anyway, but we're getting to a point where, like, dude, I overdo it. Now I get into, like, let me buy that compressor, let me buy that plugin, let me buy this plugin. I had to stop myself. Like, if I can't do shit with, I mean, the guys that have a $200 laptop are making the hits.
You know, it's funny because I've been in a studio with a multi-platinum producer. Okay, we all know who he is. I won't mention his name. One day he played me a song. I didn't think the song was all that. I really didn't. But he was like, listen to the tambourines. I added this effect. Listen to the hi-hat. I did this. I tweaked the 808 kick drum.
The reverb.
Now, and all of that sounded beautiful, but the song sucked.
Okay, yeah.
Now, I compare that to MC Breed, who Ain't No Future in Your Front.
Yeah.
Now, for an engineer, let's be honest, the engineering sucked on that song.
Yes,
okay,
it did.
But the song sold.
Yes.
That's all that matters to me. So I told this guy, look, I don't give a damn. I knew MC Breed, may he rest in peace. I said, but he did that song in somebody's bedroom, and it went 2 million copies.
Yeah.
That's what it sold. You're over here tweaking every damn song, trying to make it sound like a Michael Jackson album, and the song sucks.
And what I'm learning is that, like, if you do a little demo and I give it to you, and then later on I feel like I'm going to tweak it better, you got used to the demo, and you're like, well, you did something. And so I got to, like, stop doing all and just be like, it is what it is.
So Ernie is more into engineering right now.
Yeah, like more into engineering. Okay. And I'm trying to be Rick Rubin, like Ricardo Rubin. Where, like, I don't necessarily have to hit the button, but I'm like, with technology, I can be like, they don't know. Like, I'll have some guy that recorded something today or 10 years ago, and now I can kind of grab him from 10 years ago and put him with some new stuff, or get him, and then you kind of mash it up.
Well, that's the awesome thing about technology, that you can do that now.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a couple of more minutes, about 6 minutes, and I wanted to tell the public, first of all, that after this interview, after our next two songs, to hang on, because we have a special guest at the end of this show. We're going to give some special announcements, concerts, fundraisers, etc. But so please hang on. The show's not going to be over. But I wanted to ask you a question, because working at Skanless Studio, me and you were label mates. We were signed to Steve's record label, Skanless Records.
We were.
Okay. You were the first guy that ever showed me a Conejo demo.
Yeah.
A Conejo demo. I remember that. I don't remember the name of the song, but I remember he said something about him going to hell and you seeing my placazo on the wall.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of that song?
You know what? I'm bad, but yeah, those to me were like, fuck. Yeah.
Okay, now what year was that, you think?
I want to say it was Conejo. Where you at? I know he's probably listening. Tap in right there. Tell me what year. If you look on the thing, but I want to say it might have been 94.
Okay, because it was early.
Yeah,
it was early.
Yeah, that's the raw
and
shit.
even then, it still wasn't called Chicano rap.
No.
Now, when I heard that shit, I thought, this is some dope shit. And now, I don't know what who produced that stuff, but I know of, you were one of the other guys that was actually working with him as well.
Yes.
And he actually recorded at Steve's studio. But yes, when I heard his shit, I thought it was really freaking dope.
Yeah, I mean, that guy has 100 albums. Conejo has 100. Who does that?
Yeah.
Who does that?
Well, I talked to Johnny J.
Yeah.
The producer.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace. The producer of Tupac's All Eyes on Me album. Even though they had Daz and Quick and a bunch of other, Dre do some beats, all his hits were the ones that made the singles.
Yeah.
And he passed away in county jail. He told me that him and Pac were always working. Before he went to jail, me and him talked for about maybe a good hour. And he told me this. I have about 80 Tupac songs. Tupac's mom contacted me, and we're working together. She's suing Suge for like over 100 million.
Yeah.
Because Tupac died a broke man. He didn't have any money, etc.
I believe it.
So what happened was he said, Tone, I'm going to need some help. That's what he said. I'm sure he contacted other producers, but this is mine and his conversation. When I get out, he said, I'm going to do a couple of months. He thought he was going to do 2 to 3 months and get out. Mm-hmm. And he said, when I get out, I'm going to need some production. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. Well, long story short, he never made it out. May rest in peace. Another show, another time, another story. But I said that because you said Conejo had over 100 albums. Tupac, he told me just loved to work, and he was always recording. So there's still in his, maybe Johnny J's wife's vault, 80 Tupac songs that have never been released.
Yeah, and they can get, like, at that point, like, I'm old enough to know, like, that could be a little bit tricky. You don't even want to say you have, because believe me, somebody,
you may end up missing.
Yeah, you may end up, yeah, you will, okay. Yeah.
So, any rappers right now maybe that you're working with, you want to shout out?
Actually, right now, at this time, it's been the only time that I kind of I'm not into it. Like, I'm almost like, either I need to like refresh or just get away for a little bit because I'm not vibing. Like, you know, I just feel like I was, you know, constantly. You always see me that I'm always working, even though I'll still get on the drum machine. Just it's a habit.
Right. Of course,
it's a habit.
Of course.
But now, you know, it's just no time.
So Ernie G doesn't have anything new coming out anytime soon.
No. Right now I'm waiting for.
And that's by choice.
Yeah, that's by choice. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
you know, because people always tell me, when are you going to DJ next?
Yeah, I don't want to be like, yeah, I got this. Because a lot of people, you ever listen to interviews and like, oh, we got this project. And I'm like, bullshit. Because they'll never come out. Right. Because you really don't have, it just sounds good that you have this project. But most people, like, you can tell, like, you know, I don't have, that's why I say I don't have nothing. You might hear me play this or that. And maybe I should do like, what I want to do though, is I have a lot of bits and pieces that never got completed. But then I'm like, I don't have a second verse to this, but what I want to do, I recorded my boy Bad News. For those that know, like, this is not, but Bad News, you know, like, I really like that guy, Young Chapo, you know.
Okay.
But people feel some certain way, but I mean, if you want to get stuck, like you said, back in the 90s, that's cool, you know, but sometimes you got to move forward. But as far as, I just want to put like maybe a work of art, just where it might just be one verse and a 1 minute song, but who says that is wrong now? So I'm like, I might just do that, you know.
Quick question. Now, where can people reach you? They want to follow you? They ever want to DM you, chat with you? Where can they reach you?
Usually it's Instagram. I don't do Facebook. I know I should, but I do have an account, but I keep it more like personal. Like, I don't mess with that. Even though there is a high caliber page that is run by my boy Jay West, but I don't do Facebook. Like, I might see the things once in a while, and I might, but I don't. But mostly it's just IG.
Okay, what is your IG name?
I believe it's Proper.
You believe?
Yeah, believe me.
Okay.
Because it used to be Proper Dos, but then I deleted it one day, and then I couldn't get it back. So it's Proper Dos _ DOS. DOS, yeah.
Proper _
DOS. Yes.
Okay.
Proper
Great. And that's where they can reach you. And I hope you're pretty good at getting back to people.
Sometimes I am, but sometimes, you know, I'm busy too.
Okay. Yeah.
Life.
That's understandable.
Like my boy Bad News said, what happened to so and so? Life came knocking at the door, and I had to answer.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
one quick question, because I want to save this hopefully for a show that we will do another year where I'm going to have you come back. I see a lot of things on your IG, and I have a question for you. Are you a big conspiracy theorist guy?
I kind of keep that to myself, because then people think you're kind of crazy,
cool,
but I'm just kind of like, well, okay, I won't say. I kind of was, but I catch myself. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to say nothing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We'll say that for another show. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool. We can do that.
Okay, because I'm going to bring back High C next year, and instead of the sci-fi, we're going to call it the hi-fi.
That's dope.
And we're going to talk about Bigfoot, paranormal, extraterrestrial, alien abductions.
Or what happened to
forced into an alien weight loss program, whatever.
Everything.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. that. Next, stay tuned. We have another Power 106 drop produced by Ernie G, rap by Frank V. And we're going to have my favorite song. What is the name of that damn song? Here I am for
I get it.
One Summer Night.
One Summer Night.
And in the video of Firme Jaina, another classic song. But stay tuned because after that, I'm going to have a special guest just for a short while. And this person's going to announce what's coming up. And you want to stay tuned because you do want to be a part of this. So please stay tuned. Okay? John, take us away.
Power 106 when I'm rolling that G-Ride. Power 106 when my ride's going side to side and hitting that pancake. Ernie G, why don't you let the beat break so I could keep flowing to the funk? My homie Big Boy plays the jams you wanna bump. The people in the place, shake your ass and get down with that DJ that weighs over 400 pounds. The sounds that he kicks keeps him straight. Fat 5 and 9, rap attack at 8. Rolling down the street, checking out the mix. Radio tuned to 106 so we could hear who's down with us, and we could hear my homeboy bust. Throw freestyles off his head every hour. Proper those dropping something to bump on Power.
If you're with it and you dig it, you can get on down.
Power 106.
If you're with it and you dig it, you can get on down.
Power 106. Power 106.
Summer night, and make a phone, waiting for a hyena to call my phone. It didn't ring. I said, "Hola, request." Jumped in my shower, and then I got dressed, put on 3 flowers. Threw on a stocking, my bucket wasn't running, so I started walking. Left my home to all my homeboys roam. Hyena's coming down tonight, and it's on. They didn't show up. We didn't take it hard. We jumped in his ride, headed straight to the boulevard, looking for some young, hot, sweet, and tight. Yeah, one summer night. The bullet and the boys were deep. Before we knew it, the boys threw a creep. My homeboy was bent, and so was I. They ran him in, you know why, but they let me slide. Said I could drive. I'm going straight home, officer. I lied, took a swig of my brew, said forget the program. Continue my cruise and started bumping old jam. Then I seen a hyena or two.
What you do?
Stop the ride to kick a line or two. What some would do to get digits. But I got game, so I spit it. These girls look good, I had to be clever. When we in a 5th grade class together, one just laughed, the other one grinned. I knew for a fact that tonight I'd be in. They had perfect faces and even better bodies, so off we go to the barrio. They said they wanted some juice to get loose, so I threw in more bounce and said, will you settle for a 40 ounce? I got something else to relieve your pressure. Then I busted out with a bag of yes, guy. We jumped in the back with the sack and everything went right. One summer night. I hit it hard, till I got soft. The hyenas got tight, so I dropped the mop. But the night was young, and I wasn't through, so going to a club was the thing to do. Walked in, the sounds were bumping.
Yo, what were they playing?
Mexican power, something. I got done with a glass of rum. This hyena came up and asked me where I was from. I said, it's not where I'm from, it's where I could take you. She said, serio? I said, Simone, I wouldn't fake you. I don't know Bo, and I don't know Dilly, but I know I can knock them boots from here to Italy. She said, really? I said, it's true. So we went to my pad and we had a few brews. Been waves on my waterbed till about 2. But I wasn't through, there was more tricks that I knew. So we took 5, then we took 10. Then she said,
Italy was great and I wanna go again.
yeah. One summer night.
Órale.
I'm looking for a female hyena, a hyena that's finer than the average hyena. Not a hyena that's loose, and definitely not a hyena that smokes that juice. I don't want no hyena that's been around, and I don't want a hyena that's all tacked down. I mean a female hyena, nice and cute, with a tight mini skirt and the suede black boots. That's the kind of hyena I'm talking about, the kind you see around 3 when school gets out. Light brown hair and light brown eyes, a female hyena with the creamy thighs. So let me know if you find her, cause Frank V's looking for a female hyena.
Now, baby, your gas milk got a home.
I'm looking for a female hyena.
Now, baby, your gas milk got a home.
I need a female hyena to hold my hand, cause I'm sick of the scam and jam with the prop of those fans. Cause then I'm off to the next land, then I'm alone again. Damn, she said she'd see me a rato, but I bet she says that to all the vatos. I'm probably just another one in line. Maybe that hyna's trying to play with my mind, and that ain't cool. No hyena plays me, Frank V, for a fool, because I always keep through shot. I know some hyenas just wanna use ya for your carusha, just to get inside and tell her homegirls that she's rolling in Frank V's ride. Spending my feria también, but who was that vato?
He's just a friend.
Yeah, puro pedo. I got feria now, and you're wrapped around my dedo, but I can read you like a libro, so no puedes agarrar lo que es mío. Besides, all you think about is frío. Oh yeah, stop calling me mijo. ¿Sabes qué? Stop calling me y todo. I'd rather just sit here solo, but watch, you'll see, I'll find her and you'll be crying when I find that female hyena.
Now, baby, your gas milk got a home.
I'm looking for a female hyena.
Now, baby, your gas milk got a home.
Some hyenas today ain't about nada, cause all it takes is a couple pina coladas, then they're on the cama doing the lavada, and some of them don't even care if they're on the car. So before I get on her, I make sure she's not a sea-the monster, messing up on me when I'm doing my holly. Shot it, but I keep looking, and when I find her, I'll be blessed. Tattoo her name on my chest. Órale pues. But I'm looking at east side, north, south, and west, and all I found was toss-ups. Hyenas that mess up and like to gossip. But female hyena, if you're hearing this, when you see Frank V, come up and give me a little kiss, and let me know that you're the one to be the mother of my son. And when you see little Frankies running around, you'll know that my female hyena was finally found. Simone. But right now I'm still looking for a female hyena.
Now, baby, your gas milk got a home.
I'm looking for a female hyena.
Now, baby, your gas milk got a home.
I'm looking for a female hyena. 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 Female, light brown hair, light brown eyes. Female hyena. I'm looking for a female hyena. Looking for a female hyena.
Bitch better have my money. Better have my money.
Okay, Okay, and we're back really quick. I know we went a little bit over, so I apologize for that, but I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and staying there. I know it's been a little while, but believe me, you won't be disappointed. Really quick, I know my boy Ernie, he's got to get going, and he's got some shout-outs. You got to give some shout-outs, and then we took 3 questions. So go ahead and give your shout-outs right now, brother.
Before I forget, can't forget my boy, Reggie. What's up, Reg? Shout out. Reg, I'd also like to say, tune in to Manny, my boy Manny B, my son, and one son. They got a new project out too. And, my boy Cornejo and Prime, big shout out to them. And I know there's many more, but we only have certain times. So,
okay. The sad thing is that if you forget somebody, they get kind of pissed off.
Yeah, but I don't mean it.
Let me give my shout outs really quick. I want to thank my boy, John motherfucking Elkins, JE Visuals on Instagram. I'd like to thank my boy, DG Media Clips. I'd like to thank my boy, Roger Mera. Boomerdidit, Kerry Fujita, South Bay Drones. But once again, I just want to extend the thanks to John for making all this happen, for doing my visuals, for doing my audio, for doing my YouTube, for doing my website. The list just goes on and on and on for everything that he's contributed. Everybody has somehow has contributed to Rhodium Radio, to the DOCUMIXERY. And speaking of the DOCUMIXERY, it will be dropping on our website, www.documixery.com, and that will be dropping May 4th. Stay tuned to after these announcements that there's going to be the official trailer for the DOCUMIXERY at the very end. And the official trailer will drop tomorrow on social media, whether it be Instagram or whether it be Facebook and YouTube. For those that have subscribed to our YouTube page, you'll probably get it early in the morning. If you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe not only to my YouTube page, but also to the DOCUMIXERY page, and you'll get notified whenever content is released. You actually get it first. So stay tuned to the official trailer, and November 4th, the DOCUMIXERY drops. And also give a shout out to my son, Brian B. Skanless on IG. Also to my boy Wiz, and in case if I forgot anybody, please remind me next week, and I'll give you a shout out, because I give credit where credit is due, and thank you very much. But we got 3 questions that we want to cover. So Ernie, the first one was, what do you think about the state of rap today? We're not talking about just Chicano rap, just rap in general, compared to rap when it started. Because here's rap today, and here's rap when it started. What is the difference?
It's a young man sport, dude. So. Right. Maybe they were feeling, our older guys were feeling the same way. So I think it's a great thing. And, it's a lot of people now, so I can't keep my eye on everybody. So it ain't like, but yeah, it's different from our shit. But They were probably saying that from when we were doing our stuff, So it's evolution. It's going to happen. Change is going to happen, dude, whether you want to or not. I mean, you can get stuck over here. And, I have gotten stuck over here. Then I try over here. And, I think it is what it is, dude.
Okay, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to name me one song that's out today that you like. One.
I don't know. Hey, I got a bad memory, so.
Okay. All good. My second question is, somebody asked, whatever happened to Too High?
Too High?
Yes.
Well, we invested a lot of money into Too High.
Yeah.
Luckily now he's up on all streaming platforms.
Okay.
Too High. It's kind of hard to find, but you'll find if you see the Marijuana Leaf on there.
Right.
That's Too High. I produced all that 2 albums. I think they were actually great, good albums. Just
okay.
But what happened was, I know he got busted.
Okay.
He got busted, and he got deported.
Okay.
And we kind of got him back. And then
what's kind of got him back?
Well,
like, you got his arms over here and his legs
over there? Yeah, we hooked him.
Or?
We got him back over here.
Okay.
And then, then he might have got busted again. And, if you look at rappers, you only have a period of time.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And especially if you're like already 25, 30, 40, if you're a rapper, you know.
Okay, so you can reach him on all platforms. That's if
anybody's looking. Too high.
Okay, now the next question, actually the third question is, we kind of already covered this, but since I want to give everybody opportunity to ask, is you have any new projects or any new rappers you're working with or anything new coming
Nah,
up?
I don't. I do have a lot of stuff in the hard drive that eventually, when I find the way, because this is the way I like to do stuff, you know? If I just wanted to put out music, like, oh, just put out music, I would have done that. But, you know, I kind of want to be like, you know, whatever I put out last.
As for me, I like doing what I'm doing right now. I DJ occasionally. I'll produce occasionally, but I feel kind of like a football player that's retired and is now in the box, kind of announcing the game. That's kind of like where I am right now. So I'm kind of having fun. Now, if somebody wants to bring me out of retirement, say, "Hey, Tone, I got this much money." Like every once in a while, I'll get hired to go to Colorado, El Paso, or Albuquerque, and I'll go DJ. I got no problem with that. But I will say this: I don't play no new shit. I don't. I can't relate. I don't hate. The sad thing is that we live in a generation where truth is the new hate speech. If I say I don't like it, they'll label you a hater. So,
no, I get it. And the reason I tune in is like I just want to keep my ears to the street. I want to feel that again. I want to feel like, damn, that shit's dope.
Right.
But I haven't yet.
Okay. Well, Ernie G, thank you for coming through, brother.
Having me.
And I'm going to bring you here once again at the beginning of the year. We're going to talk some conspiracy shit. I want to pick your brain about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you better sharpen up on your memory, eat some carrots or something. Oh, that's for the eyes. What is it, walnuts for the brain or something like that?
Yeah, walnuts. They're good for the brain because they look like brains, the walnuts.
Exactly.
I'm telling you.
Okay, I don't want to tell you what figs look like, so we'll talk about that on the next one.
Yeah, I don't want to know neither.
Once again, the DOCUMIXERY drops November 4th, so please stay tuned on that. The official trailer will drop. I also got a special guest that you've been tuning in that you can actually, well, she'll tell you a little bit more. Without further ado, this is my good friend, Blanca from Bobby D Presents, and she will give you a little bit more insight on her background and what you're doing, what you got coming up.
Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? I'm Blanca. I work for Bobby D Presents. I also have Sky Events and Entertainment.
Okay.
And basically what we're working with this week is Barbara Mason.
Oh, okay.
Barbara Mason, Brentwood.
And where's this going to be at?
It's going to be at the Greek Theater.
Uh-huh. Okay, at the Greek Theater.
At the Greek
are there
Theater.
still tickets available?
There's still tickets available. Tickets are available at www.axs.com or on bobbydpresents.com.
Okay, and you know what? Give me one quick second because I need everybody in the background to be quiet, please. So once again, it's this Saturday, if I'm correct.
It's this Saturday. It will be held at the Greek Theater. It's Barbara Mason 55th anniversary, you guys. So we gotta make it special for her. It's almost sold out. Go in there, buy your
enjoy it. Have a good time.
Yeah.
I never got to see her in person, but I know she always puts on a great performance. Whenever Bobby D or whenever you promote a show, I always hear that things turn out great. A lot of times I don't attend shows because I've been performing since like the age of 21, so sometimes it kind of gets old a little bit, but no, I don't mind a good concert,
Yes.
So after that, what else do you have coming up?
So we have a few events and shows coming up in October. Our few shows and events are on October the 17th. No, the 19th.
Take your time.
Okay. So October the 17th, I am going to be hosting with J Booty, Janet. We're going to be hosting the Teo Calderon concert. That's at the Velasco Theater.
Now, I have to ask, why J Booty?
Because she got a booty.
Okay, we'll save that for another show.
Yeah, we'll save it for another interview. This is a promo. So you could go ahead and look for her at jbooty.com. No, just kidding.
Dope.
On Instagram, but yeah.
So give me those dates again.
So we have October the 5th, which is Barbara Mason at the Greek Theater, brought to you by Bobby D Presents, Uncle Snoop's Army, and FKOA.
Dope. Okay. And what do you have coming up after that? I know you had mentioned something about a fundraiser possibly.
Yes. So I have a fundraiser, which is a cancer awareness event, which now it's even more important to me because 2 days ago my grandpa passed away from cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that. And I'll tell you why, because about 10 to 11 years ago, my mother actually passed away from cancer. My mother was my best friend. And that was the hardest thing for me to accept, But we don't deny that cancer does exist, and you are fundraising. This is a good cause, so we need people to participate.
Yes,
to be a part of this.
Yeah, so. It's a big deal for me, a big thing. We have a few artists already that are going to be attending. We want more artists to come out, show support for the cause. The funds are going to go, 100% of the proceeds that are donated are going to go to Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. And some of our ticket sales are going to go also towards Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
Now, to get a little bit more detail, is this going to be like a concert, like a show, just like a party atmosphere?
So it is a Halloween event. People can go ahead and wear their costumes if they like. We are going to have a 2-hour buffet as well included on your ticket sales. So you have general admission, VIP as well. And they can dress up if they like. If they don't want to dress up, they don't have to dress up. It is a concert.
Okay.
So we do have a lot of artists that are going to be participating.
Okay.
One being like Little Blackie.
Oh, okay.
We just brought him in. We have also Namek.
Okay.
That'll
work.
We have Trey Fred from LBC.
Oh, okay.
Trey Fred.
All right.
And then we have other artists as well. We have upcoming artists also, people that
Good.
that shows. I believe it's Susie and Sam and Susie.
Okay. Now, and give me this date again, just in case somebody just tuned in and didn't hear.
Oh yeah. So it's October the 25th, you guys.
October 25th.
October the 25th. Doors open at 6 p.m. Should I look at the camera?
No, that's fine. However you feel comfortable.
So October the 25th, you guys. Doors open at 6 p.m. The show starts at 7 p.m. And buffet is from 7 to 9.
Okay. Okay. And do you already have your costume picked out?
I do.
You don't want to tell nobody what you're going to be? You don't have to. It'll be a surprise.
Yeah, I think it's October is the day that you get to dress however you want. So it is going to be...
Okay, that'll work. Now,
sexy. 21 and over, you guys.
21 and over. Now, where can somebody get these tickets? Can they buy them ahead of time? Is it at the door or?
They can buy them ahead of time at Eventbrite. It's under Monsters Ball at Stevens Steakhouse. And the tickets right now we have pre-sale for $25. We have $30 and $40 tickets.
Okay.
And then we have tables for sale.
So that's three shows. Barbara Mason. What date is that again?
That one's October the 5th.
October the 5th, you guys. And then the next one?
We have the next one on the 17th, Tego Calderon.
Tego Calderon, the reggaeton guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have October the 19th too, which is How the West Was Won.
How the West Was Won. Yes.
We are promoting it.
And of course, who's headlining that show? Is it Cube or Snoop?
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. Okay. You'll be there.
Yeah.
And then the next one is the fundraiser.
The fundraiser, October the 25th at Stevens Steakhouse, Halloween cancer awareness event, you guys. We need everybody's support.
If you
we
care,
have USC
be
support,
there. Yes.
If you can.
Yes. If you care, be there. And once again, I lost my mother due to cancer as well. Once again, my apologies and my condolences to your grandfather. So if there's anything else you want to share, right now is the time. Maybe you want to give a shout out or you want to thank somebody.
Just a really quick, a few more shows for Bobby D.
Okay.
We have another show coming up another show October the 25th, the same time at Palm Springs Casino, Aguascalientes. And that one would be J Balvin. We have another show coming up as well, November the 1st, which is at Stevens Steakhouse as well. And that one's with Melissa Morgan. Okay. And we have Brittany. We have Matt Legaspi on that one as well.
Okay.
So if you guys want to join us on that one. We have another Bobby D one, Gerardo Ortiz, November 9th.
Dope. You're good at remembering those dates.
Yeah,
that's good. Well, that's your business. That's what you do.
Yeah.
So.
My business is promoting, marketing, and producing.
Well, you know what? I wish you all the luck. I wish you guys the success. And ultimately, I wish you guys make a lot of money. Ultimately, as well, I want people to attend and to help out and to be a part of this cancer awareness event that you're...
I think it's very important. My grandpa didn't know that he had cancer. And I think if we all go to the doctor, I mean, it's an awareness. It's for a reason. You go to the doctor, you can have more time with your family. They told us it was 6 months, but he passed away within a week of us talking to him.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if there's anything else, if not, we would like to say goodbye.
Follow me at Sky_Cast68. Follow me at Blanca_Bobby D Presents. Follow us on Bobby D Presents, Uncle Snoop's Army, FKOA. I still got to give them a shout out.
Now,
thank you also for having me here.
Oh, you're very welcome.
You are the best. I love you since day one. We are supporting you no matter what.
Thank you.
I got you. You know this.
I've never met Bobby D yet, but you know what? I would like to meet him one day. So much love and much respect to him, because believe me, his shows are great.
Yes.
I'll tell you where I think he knocked it out of the ballpark. I hope I get it right. Did he put together? It was Snoop, Ice Cube, and Cypress Hill one day at Microsoft Theater. I think it was like Christmas time.
Puff Puff.
Yes, there you go.
So we have the Puff Puff tour.
Okay. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Big ups to Bobby D.
Well, you haven't met him yet?
Never met him yet.
Oh, well, we gotta make that happen.
Well,
actually, we are gonna make that happen.
Okay.
You know why, right?
Yes.
Because we already talked about what we're gonna do.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
so
good.
you are gonna meet him.
All good. So once again, the official trailer drops tomorrow. Please follow her. Please support. Buy tickets. Okay. Believe me, you won't be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. So once again, a DOCUMIXERY drops November 4th. The official trailer drops once again tomorrow. I know I'm repeating myself, but I got about 100 things going through my mind. So I will be back on IG next week. So be looking for me there. And tomorrow I'm under Tony Alvarez on Facebook, and I will be dropping my next guest. This is a gold and platinum manager, and he's managed some of the biggest acts in West Coast. You don't want to miss that. So check out my Facebook and you'll see who it would be. So once again, thank you to John Elkins, DG Media Clubs, my son Brian, my boy Ernie G for coming through all over Santa Monica. And we're out, and thank everyone for tuning in, and see you guys next week.
The Rhodium Swap Meet mixtapes had a huge impact on hip-hop and the hip-hop culture because it was different.
The mixtapes out of the Rhodium Swap Meet in the 80s, early 90s, formed gangster rap.
You know, the people who want to tell the story don't know the story. They don't know who to talk to.
Man, like the NWA and Eazy-E music hit the Rhodium Swap Meet mixtapes first.
I can feel it. I've overcome. I'm rocking shit at the Rhodium. Can you hear it? The taste from Steven. Rocking from the morning to the evening. Dr. Dre is here, so it's time to move. Or I'm gonna have to pump up the volume. You know it's legit. The Dre is co-rocking shit.
Can you feel it?